better as Arsenal's manager, but I'm afraid technically...
No, I don't think so, no.
From his first day on the job, he was the Gunners' head coach. Let's pick a random moment in time, February 2025. Only 6 Premier League bosses actually held the official title of manager rather than head coach. Man City's Pep Guardiola, David Moyes of Everton, Ipswich boss Kieran McKenna, Southampton's Ivan Juric, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace and Leicester's Ruud van Nistelrooy were the only actual managers of their respective teams. Everyone else? That's right, head coach, including Ruben Amorim at Man United. He took over from Erik ten Hag, a man who had held the title of manager. Might come as a surprise that Amorim's appointment marked the first time ever that Man United had a head coach instead of a manager. But to understand why they made that decision, you also have to get what the difference is between a head coach and a manager. A manager's got a huge range of responsibilities. They're not just in charge of training and player lineups, they're also heavily involved in player sales and transfers. Critical stuff. But a head coach's role is far more focused on team training and performance on the pitch. So whereas Ten Hag was highly involved with decisions around transfers during his tenure, the intention was that Amorim wouldn't be, at least not on the same level. And as the sporting structure at Man United changed under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, people like Sir Dave Brailsford took charge of transfers instead. How all those roles play out in practice may be slightly different at different clubs though. On the other hand, the contracts of actual managers like Pep or Moyes had no limits on their job role and their involvement with transfers and contracts. But those guys are actually in the minority now, and it's a change that's happened pretty quickly. In 2019, there were only 6 head coaches in the Premier League, but by 2025, there were 14. A clear indication that more and more clubs are moving towards a model where the guy in charge is actually only really in charge on the pitch. And the way things are going, it might not be long before all 20 clubs have got head coaches, and the job position of football manager in the top flight is no more.
Celtic are out of the Champions League on penalties. They've lost 3-2. Aramida missed the first one. Luke McCowan missed the second one. And then the fifth one was missed by Dyson Maida, all saved by the reserve goalkeeper Timurian Anarbekov. 3-2 to the Kazakhstan side on penalties. The Scottish champions are out.
Has anyone seen Celtic? Oh my God! Alan Brazil, can you me big out? You're most of one ever beating Haggis, Scotty Brown, Henry Larsson, Danny McGrain, can you me Danny? You're most of one ever beating Hoppy and Haley, can you Hoppy and Haley? Tony Castorino, Virgil van Dijk, Nadine from Salah, can you me Dean? You're most of one ever beating the President Head Palm, Rod Stewart, Chris Sutton, Jared Butler, Jared Butler, Spanky Steve, can you be Celtic? You always do what I live a beating.
I'm going to stick that duck right up his jacksie.
Alan, what happened, mate?
Well,
what happened?
Gab, I watched it all. It's probably the worst 2 legs of a game I've seen Celtic play. It wasn't just last night. At Celtic Park, they were diabolical. They were terrible, Celtic. And then you'd think they'd pick up. It wasn't towards the end they looked at any... Well, did they look better than the opposition? Yeah. It was just rubbish, to be honest.
You know what sums up Maeda? Was that chance where he runs through 1v1, whole half to himself. Why does he take it onto his left foot?
I don't know, but I tell you now, I've just written down. Look, what have I written down there? Maeda.
Yeah,
something's wrong with him.
Yeah, he's not the same.
I think he wants away.
I just feel like Alan, you've played as a centre forward. You're through 1v1 there. You've got no reason to go onto your weaker foot. You're running straight down the middle. Take it
With tremendous
centre.
pace.
Yeah, take it centre. Then little touch to the side on your right foot and slot it home. Just the way he takes it onto his left foot to make it harder. I think that just sums up maybe Celtic at the moment. The penalties as well. He missed his penalty, which can happen, of
Why did
course.
Celtic's best two penalty takers not go first and put
Exactly.
pressure on the home side? I couldn't work that out. Going back to the Maeda chance, I'm not making excuses because over 2 legs he was rubbish. He was
Yeah.
pants. It just bobbles slightly as he hits it. If you watch it carefully, it bobbles.
Yeah, of course. But it's just the way he takes it.
Oh, I agree, and he's got tremendous pace. He didn't have to rush it.
So he did have to take it on his left foot.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he does when he runs through 1v1. But
But what does that say about Scottish football? Rangers, look, Rangers have got a chance to atone tonight. They've got a chance, but
yeah, a slight
what
chance.
does it say about Scottish football again? You know what I mean? And Celtic go to Ibrox for the weekend. I tell you now, I'm not confident.
Well, I think for me, Alan, I mean, everyone I meet is talking about Scottish football at the moment. I mean, that's 30 million. That's not going to be in Celtic's pocket for missing out on the Champions League. That's £30 million that's going to a team ranked 311th in the world.
By the way, they worked hard, and I'll say this as well. I thought a lot of the 50-50s they were winning, and in midfield the ball was dropped. They were getting on it first, so I wouldn't just blame Maeda. I think all round Celtic were rank in
But
both games.
For me, I was lucky enough to go to last season, the Celtic Rangers game at Celtic Park. Loved the atmosphere. Thought it was a great game. And the season that Celtic had last season, I know they're a selling club, Hal. Do you know what I mean? They've sold their best players over the years. But if you're a Celtic fan, you're thinking, we had a good go last season. Won the league comfortably. Champions League, we give it a good go as well. Why can't we invest in the summer? Why are we selling Kun? Why did Kyogo go? Why have we not replaced these players? And you look at the team that finished last night and you start to think maybe, okay, where'd you go? Honestly, I'm baffled about the business that's been done. If I was Brendan, I'd have serious thoughts of like carrying on because the board can't just keep selling you players and not giving you the right players to bring back in because Celtic, you're used to them now being in the Champions League. So for them to not be in it is going to be very hard. And like you said, Ibrox on Sunday.
Oh.
You fancy Rangers now.
Well, Rangers have got to play tonight. At least they don't have to travel far. You know, Brussels is easy to Glasgow. Celtic have got a long journey back, but they've got a day more to recover. But I wouldn't be confident the weekend. I think Celtic... I watched the Aberdeen game at Pittodrie, and for 20 minutes Aberdeen were good. So there's something not right at Celtic at the moment. You know, only Brendan will know. But the fans, 400 fans made that trip. It's almost to China. How do they feel? How do they feel getting back? You know, it's I don't know. It just it was awful. I texted Ali right last night, and I said it's like watching 2 junior teams.
Yes,
and I meant that. You know, and listen, Celtic's my team. I said it's like watching 2 junior teams play each other. There was lack of ability all over the pitch.
If you look at the teams that Celtic could have played, I mean, Rangers have got a hell of a tie. Even before they lost the first leg, Club Brugge would have been the favourites. Better side, Champions League experience last season as well. But to get the tie that Celtic have got, you would have been like rubbing your hands. Celtic board, yes, this gamble might pay off. You know, we're not going to bring too many players in. We'll still get the Champions League money because of the draw we've got. Look at the other teams you could have got. Feyenoord that got knocked out by Fenerbahce, Benfica, Club Brugge. And you get a team that's ranked 311th in the world from Kazakhstan, and you've lost.
Gabby,
One of the most embarrassing results.
I just can't.
Recent years.
I can't. You know, I can only hold my hands up and say we deserve nothing.
Totally agree.
Two legs deserved absolutely nothing.
But the board have got to look at themselves now, haven't they? And strengthen.
Will they though? You know, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about Carabao Cup? 1 or 2 shocks, wasn't there? Where do we start?
Leeds lost, didn't they, to Sheffield Wednesday's under 21s.
West Ham, what's going? You know, all right, it wasn't easy going to Wolves, but it's another loss for West Ham.
And it's another goal from a cross. They can't defend crosses. I've never known a team to quite often play 3 centre halves, Al, who don't want to come head the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Wolves scored 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes when they were 2-1 down. I just don't understand West Ham, and they're in deep trouble. Gerard Bowen having arguments with West Ham fans doesn't look great.
If they lose him, then big trouble.
Yeah, and I didn't like it because he's gone over to clap the fans. He hasn't hid and walked straight down the tunnel, and some fans giving him some. And then when the players pull him away, he takes his armband off. That's never a good sign when you rip the armband off and you put it in your hand. It's like he was in an angry way last night.
But why would, listen, West Ham's a big club. They've had great players over the years, of course, great club. But why would you have a go at your best player?
Yep. You know what fans are like. You could do anything.
If he leaves, they're in big trouble.
Exactly. He's your best player. He's there. He's standing up and being counted. You know, he's not hiding. He's not saying he doesn't want to play the Carabao Cup. He's out there trying his hardest. Got an assist last night. So the West Ham fans definitely need to keep him on side.
Yeah. Okay, Celtic fans, right? Give us a call.
Yeah.
Maybe, am I over the top here? I don't think I am. I watched it carefully. I watched both legs carefully. I don't think I'm over the top. Give us a call, 03717 223344 this morning. Don't leave me hanging here. How are you feeling after that? I'm sorry, rubbish. Home and away, rubbish. No Champions League football the first time for you. Is Brendan now under severe pressure to save faith this season? Give us a call, have your say this morning. And are you confident at the weekend going to Ibrox? I'm not.
Oh, you sound quite sad, man. I'm worried about you.
Why?
I've never heard you like this at 6 a.m. before. You seem a bit like downbeat.
I've got to be, because that was,
How can we cheer him up?
No, I'm fine.
You okay, mate?
I'm fine. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm just baffled by, playing just garbage and getting knocked out.
Let it out, mate. Let it out.
And when it went to penalties, I thought, And some of the penalties were poor, weren't they? Coming up next, Ed. We're cruising for a doing. Coming up next, we'll hear from Graham Potter on that Bowen fan altercation. West Ham fans, what was that about? If you lose him, you're losing your best player. That's when we come back. Oh, dear. It's not your hip-hop guy. Right, I bet the Sex Pistols start your Wednesday morning off. Stewie was there, one of Stuart Pearce. Why we playing this morning? Well, lead guitarist Glenn Matlock is 69 years old today. Well done, Glenn, 69. When did you go through your rebellious phase, Gab? Did you have one?
Oh, probably when I left home, 18,
Yeah.
when I moved out. Then it was like, I'm free. My dad can't stop me. Made it pro Aston Villa. Let's go. Enjoy. Full force. What about you?
I didn't really. No. I was,
Really?
Yeah, no. I was too into my football. When
Hang
I
on
was
a second.
Glasgow. Yeah. I was.
Your
I
trip
was,
to America to go and play in America.
I was
What was
19
that?
I was 19 then.
Yeah, but that's still. You was on one.
Yeah, but I wasn't rebellious. It was just hello.
Just have it.
Different.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, how does your boy think at the moment? Do you think he's saying that to his mates? I can't wait to leave home. Now I've got.
My lad, yeah.
Now I've got a few quid in my pocket. The old man, he bosses me around. I'm all right now.
He's already said he's only 17. He said he can't wait to move out. I think that's most kids, isn't it? That I'm like, why? He's like, I don't know, just a bit more freedom. Like, what do you want? I mean, you got a curfew. What do you want to do? But I moved out at 18, so I'm sure in a couple of years he'll be moving as well.
1 year, he'll be moving.
1 year he'll be off. Yeah, see you later.
And your daughters?
My oldest daughter's 14. She'll be dying to move out as well. But Al, it's easier said than done. All the best affording it.
Yeah.
It's all good saying. Like, how you going to pay for
what
it?
if they move out in Birmingham or Solihull and
Solihull.
you head down to the south coast, Sandbanks with Harry? I mean, when are you going to see them?
I'll meet him halfway, mate.
Will you?
Yeah, meet him halfway out.
In London?
Yeah, in London. No, but it's kids for you, isn't it? They want to move out and they've got big plans when they're 18, 19, and they'll find out, yeah, good luck getting some money for rent. Very expensive.
Okay, L3 717 223344, the number to call. Celtic fans, help me out this morning. Danny's a Celtic fan. Danny, good morning, Danny.
Good morning, Danny.
It's not really a good morning, chaps.
No,
I just heard the Sex Pistols here. It might be a bit of anarchy on London Road later on today.
Yeah. Danny, that was murder last night, wasn't it?
Alan, I'm not going to lie. I play for a Sunday team, and I've saw better down a school pitch.
Aye.
It was absolutely tragic. There was no effort. There was nothing. That other team showed more passion. That's the only thing that game had. That other team had passion. That was literally it.
I agree. All the little 50-50s in midfield, the ball bouncing loose, they were getting there first.
Everything. Every second ball. every ball up into the air, and I don't know why they kept trying this long ball nonsense. My head is the height of a letterbox. Why would you try and throw balls up to him?
Danny, what do you think's wrong with him? There's something not right with him at the moment.
I think he's gone.
I think you're right.
I think he's gone. But I know that the board didn't invest in things like that, and they take a large chunk of the blame. But at the end of the day, it's Brendan Rodgers has to try and get a tune out of the team he's got, and he's not done it the last couple of games, you know. And
do you know what as well, Danny? People will say, "Oh, the Europa League will suit Celtic." Not if they're playing how they're playing recently, because there's some really good teams in Europa League. That won't be an easier competition.
No, the thing about the Europa League is when we got to the final of the UEFA Cup, it wasn't really the greatest of competition, but you've got a big pride of Champions League football there now, so every team wants to go and win it, you know. So I wouldn't fancy our chances against Indy right now, to be honest with you.
Wow, that's my next question. Ibrox at the weekend, what do you reckon?
I'll be watching it from behind the curtains.
Danny, I'm with you. I'm not confident. Well, we'll see what happens tonight over in Brussels, but over in Bruges, Club Bruges. But I tell you what, I've just got a bad feeling. I really have. Danny, thanks for your call.
Thank you, Danny.
All right, here we go, 6:22. Shaban is back with, we're looking today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle providing doggy daycare? Take the lead with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Anarbekov!
An excerpt there from Enter the Dragon and Bruce Lee. Shaban, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Shaban.
You know, I watched the penalty shootout with the kids last night, and then I got up this morning like, crack on, still Europa League. We're not good enough to be in the Champions League. We've not invested. We've not spent any money this window. We've not replaced anybody who can score goals. Crack on. And then I got on with 5 till 6 with a brave face, and then you come on, and now I'm wanting to crawl back under my bed and never be seen again.
What am I meant to say? You know, I gave it to Ali last week, and he's got every right to give it to me this morning.
Do you believe in karma? Because I felt we mugged Ali off so much last week, and now we're like that.
No, I don't. I don't believe in karma. No.
I feel we've got what we're due, Gabby.
I just want you to be upbeat, you know, like, don't let it take over your lives. You know, you both seem a bit down. How can we make you a bit more happy?
Hold on a minute. Your face was tripping when you walked in this morning. What's up? I said, what's up with you? So I never get any 12 o'clock last night. Trespassers on the line. I've had no sleep. So don't you give me that rubbish.
Let me just get my fishing rod. Wheel it back in.
Anyway, we have to move on.
Are you okay though, Shaban?
No, I'm gutted as well.
Yeah.
Really gutted. I mean, it's embarrassing actually. Kyra are 311th in the UEFA club rankings. And as Danny mentioned there was more passion from that side. They wanted it more. They've made history. Celtic didn't look up for it, and that's the sad thing about it.
I'm not having the altitude either. I'm not having that. No chance.
No, I know. And you look at the team against Bayern Munich when we progressed from the league phase last season, was all passion, all heart, a good team, solid. That last night was not the same, and it's an incredibly quick drop-off. Back pages, it's not actually made the back pages today. Let's focus on what has. A lot of chat on Wolves West Ham. It ended 3-2 to Wolves in the Cup. Jurgen Strand Larsen, his late Carabao Cup double, saw West Ham hit a new low to pile more pressure on boss Graham Potter. I don't know if you'll have seen this on your timelines this morning, but
timelines, what's a timeline?
Like your TikTok and your Instagram and that. So, yeah, of course. Good chat then. But anyway, Jared Bowen, there's a clip of him going around the internet of him going over to the away end. It looks like a West Ham group of fans has confronted him and said something to him. He's gone back towards them. He's tried to go over the hoarding to say something back to them. Some of the players have come over to restrain him. He's then gone on Instagram and apologised about that, saying he's heated, he's emotional, he's passionate, but he has to set a better example.
He's the best player by miles. If they want to kick him out of the club.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem. Of course, Graham Potter was asked about that incident involving Jared Bowen last night.
He's obviously hurting because giving everything in the game. You know, he's the captain. He cares a lot about the club, cares a lot about the team. You can see the players are working hard. You can see the players are giving everything. I thought today there was no lack of effort at all from the boys. And it is what it is. It's just an exchange of views. Obviously, our supporters, of course, are hurting as well, and they obviously care about the club and they want us to win. So it's a pretty normal reaction, really.
And having got yourself back into the game, how disappointing was that last 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was very disappointing because, like I said, over the course of the 90 minutes, we put a lot in, but obviously not enough. And that's something we have to accept, but at the same time, build on the positives. There was a lot there, I thought, in the game. Like I said, the performance level was a lot better for us, and we have to take that forward.
And they go to Forest at the weekend.
Oh, it's not looking good for West Ham. I'm worried about them.
Is it looking... of course it's not looking good for West Ham. Is this Graham Potter's problem or is this a board problem?
Both. I feel that, like, you know, he has got players in, but you look at his record at West Ham, it's shocking. And he's had a pre-season. There's some managers like to moan, haven't had a pre-season with the players.
Has he been promised players, though, Gab?
Of course, Al, but you watch West Ham and you don't see a style of play. You know, you see the three centre-backs, they can't defend, going forwards, they look clueless as well. The midfield have got no legs. I'm worried about them, and they can't defend crosses. Again, last night, Strand Larsen with a great header, but you play three centre-halves, but you can't win a header in the box. It's baffling.
Yeah, Strand Larsen, I mean, Wolves need to hold on to him.
50-odd million, I don't see it, mate.
No.
But he comes on, he scores 2 goals in 2 minutes. I mean, they have to hang on to him. I mean, teams want him, and you can understand why.
I think they will. If someone offers 50 million, I think they'll snap their hands off.
I mean, Vitor Pereira saying last night, you know, players have a price kind of thing. He understands the way it'll go. If the right price is there, he knows what happens.
He played in a bad Wolves side last season, got 14 Premier League goals.
Yeah, that's...
So in a terrible Wolves team, so what would he score in a Newcastle side with who they've got?
Shaban, what else we got?
I don't know, do you want a hug or something?
No. I'm fine.
What do you want?
What's in the back pages?
A Red Bull?
No. I want another story.
Okay. Dispute over wonder kid fee. Tribunal to decide how much Liverpool must pay Chelsea for 16-year-old goal hero Rio Ngamoa. So obviously used for the game the other night. He comes on to win for Liverpool 3-2 in the dying moments of that game. Came through the Chelsea Academy as well, so there's a dispute over who's going to get the fee for him. Also, back page of The Sun, exclusive by Jack Rosser. Chelsea legend John Terry reckons Liverpool wonder kids at Rio Ngamoa could be the next Eden Hazard. He said, you don't see too many players that are this exciting like him anymore since Hazard and Joe Cole, and those players are very confident and get the fans off their seat. Football's become
the young boy Dowman at Arsenal. He's got to be in there.
It's good to see.
By the way, can I just say this before we break? I can't get over how dopey some players are.
Oh.
When a defender's in trouble and they're looking for a way out, you know, they're in, you know, whatever they are, they're struggling on the ball, and the forward knocks them over and gives them an easy way out, especially up near their box. So rather than just, you know, let them, you know, fiddle about and get a throw in, fine. They put the ball down and stick it in the box. Anthony Gordon is another one. He didn't need to do that.
No.
He's took his standing leg, Van Dijk. What does he expect? He's got to go off there.
I can't believe when some people say that it wasn't a red. It's probably one of the worst challenges I've seen.
Who said it wasn't a red? I thought it was a unanimous red.
I think it was a terrible tackle because you're running in that angle. You wouldn't use your left foot to tackle anyway.
Right foot.
Use your right foot to sort of like, to sweep maybe and get both legs. But Van Dijk done well to get away without being seriously injured. Terrible challenge.
And it, you know, it
killed the team.
It killed the game, and yet somehow Newcastle got back in it. But, you know, you must... Because Newcastle were buzzing, weren't they? They were buzzing.
So good.
And I thought, right on half-time, why would you do something like that?
What I like about Liverpool were thinking, all right, the atmosphere, Newcastle players are flying around, we're calm. And end up costing Newcastle because they were so fired up.
Yeah. That's what Gordon said. He was trying to bring that atmosphere. He's just too much.
Yeah.
Okay, Shaban, that was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Keep your calls coming, Celtic fans. You probably don't feel like picking the phone up, but if you do, 03717 223344. Big game coming up the weekend as well. Coming up, we turn attention to an incredible win for Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds United in the Cup, but there's still trouble for the fans. That's coming next.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle providing doggy daycare? Take the lead with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you Level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until Level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're Level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a Level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
25 minutes to 7 o'clock. talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil, Gabby Agbonlahor and Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Now, another night of dramatic cup football last night. This all sounded right here on talkSPORT.
Millwall 2, Coventry 1. Millwall into the Carabao Cup third round for the first time in 4 years.
Comfortable in the end for Southampton. Norwich booed off after a third successive home defeat. Norwich 0, Southampton 3.
19 years of age, this is pressure now. Sutton run up and he's missed. Sunderland are out. Huddersfield celebrate.
It is Preston 2, Wrexham 3. They have won this game in the dying moment.
Bradford's brilliant start to the season continues. Unbeaten in all competitions. Stoke 0, Bradford 3.
Birmingham City 0, Port Vale 1. So the League One side create one of the shocks of the second round, knocking out the 2011 winners.
Wolves 3, West Ham United 2. It's that man, Jürgen Strand Larsen again. And the crisis continues for West Ham.
Gerrard's gone over after the game, obviously, to the West Ham fans. Someone said something from the stands and he was incensed by it.
Finished 10-man Bournemouth 0, Brentford 2. 2 wins in the space of 4 days for the new Brentford manager. It's saved, Leeds are out. Sheffield Wednesday, with a team of teenagers, have knocked out their Premier League Yorkshire rivals, and they can barely believe it. For Leeds United, it is nothing short of embarrassing.
Yep, that's right. West Ham managed to lose again under Graham Potter, which sparked an angry reaction from captain Jared Bowen at full time with the West Ham fans. You can't win as a player, Gab, if you don't go over and applaud them. You know, thanks a lot. We paid good money. We've travelled up here. You go and applaud them and you get pelters.
But I think most West Ham fans will look at that reaction from Jared Bowen and say, that's my boy. That's what I want to see. Some aggression, some character
passion.
Coming over and passion of you know what, I'll come and have it with you fans who are trying to give me some. I'm sure 99.9% of West Ham fans are Team Jared Bowen.
Well, we'll take calls on that. Yeah. Listen, I didn't see the game. I was watching 2 junior sides play. Crikey. 03717 223344. Give us a call. Premier League side Bournemouth and Sunderland were both knocked out. The biggest story of the night, without doubt, was Leeds. They crashed out the hands of Sheffield Wednesday, who've been struggling, who started the night with 9 players who were under the age of 20. But there was no fans there to see the winners. They continue to protest the ownership of the club. talkSPORT's Sheffield correspondent Alan Biggs explains, well, what happened last night.
It was the most extraordinary night at the club where nothing seems to make any sense. Sheffield Wednesday beating Leeds United in the circumstances was almost as mad as some of the events for which fans want rid of owner Dapon Chansiri. And this was the quirkiest way of going about it, from the team, that is, and not the supporters whose boycott left Hillsborough more than 2/3 empty. The stage was set for the sort of thumping defeat that would have kept the focus on Chansiri and left him squirming. But a ridiculously young shadow team, 9 players of 20 or under, hadn't read the script. And they more than turned up. That's where the heart and soul of Sheffield Wednesday is, not in Thailand. It's in those players and also those who stayed away. Mad, but true.
So a bizarre night in Sheffield. Let's hear what manager Henrik Pedersen made of it. He spoke to Alan following the game.
The belief you go into a game, the courage you have in your expression of every single, and the boys were ready to fail because they should be extreme. I said to them before the game, when I sky intensity in the game, when the young guys have to step up, think on this for 95 minutes and not only for 90 seconds in exercises. And I think they did it in a very, very well way.
Did it actually surprise you how well they played?
It will be easy to say no, but of course to play against a top team like Leeds, Premier League, play with a really good start 11 today, and then we can compete but compete in a defensive way. Of course, we didn't have the ball a lot, but we cannot expect this. But we can expect we do all what we can to defend and to protect with our heart and do everything. And then we make a great goal and then penalty. So, yeah, great evening.
Gab, you had a little spell there. Okay, yeah. you were only young, but big football club.
Massive.
Wednesday. Big football club.
Fan base, Al. They love their football in Sheffield. I think Sheffield Wednesday probably bigger fan base than Sheffield United. But what's winding me up there is looking at them pictures and seeing the owner's name on the stand. You know, like inside the stadium on the seat, his name lettered out. That's winding me up because he's ruined that football club. And you've got players like Barry Bannon, you know, staying on a lot less money because he loves the football club. And last night, I think 9 of the players were under 20 years of age, showed heart, passion, grit to get it over the line and win on penalties, the pressure of penalties as well. I think that football club is suffering and they need someone to come in and save them because Hillsborough will be sold out, Al. Do you know what I mean? They got promoted back into Championship, probably thinking, let's have a good go. Maybe in 2-3 years we can try and get back to the Premier League. I remember Sheffield Wednesday in the Premier League when I was a kid.
Yeah. On the other side of it, Leeds United got a lesson against Arsenal, but that's not a problem. Leeds have got to move on from that. Leeds have just got to stay in the Premier.
Yeah.
But Calvert-Lewin made his debut last night and things didn't go to plan, missing a penalty and a real good chance by all accounts. I don't know if you've seen the game. Was it a poor debut?
He missed a few chances, Al, but you can't criticise somebody who...
Keeps getting in there?
Yeah, he's getting in there, but he hasn't played much football in the last year. Injury problems at Everton. He's come to a new club, and you'll get the idiots online that are laughing at him because he missed a couple of sitters, then he skied his penalty. But it's going to take him probably a month, maybe playing a few more under-23 games to get up to speed, and I'm sure then he will be in better position to help Leeds United. But I watched the Leeds game against Arsenal. I thought they were very poor, El. I know it's Arsenal and you can't look at them sort of games, but I think all over the pitch, defensively, I'm not sure about the goalkeeper, midfield, attacking wise, I think Leeds will definitely go back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they've got enough, mate, at all.
Oh dear, there you go. I'd made Gabby take off his Port Vale scarf this morning. By the way, we'll come to that one later as well. Still to come on Breakfast, Ed.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Okay, Celtic, well, what can you say after that last night? Dumped out the Champions League before it's even started. But Kazakhstan side, Kirat, well done them, by the way, as Shaban was saying. You know, they were winning all the 50-50 balls in midfield, the balls that were, you know, dropping. They were winning the second ball, and they showed a lot more passion, I thought.
Yeah, do you want to know a few teams that are ranked above them?
No.
You don't want...
I don't want to hear Cundy either.
Can I name a few? There's a team from...
Oh, my God! Alan Brazil, can you me big out? You're my someone liver-beating haggis.
There's a team from Luxembourg above them out there called Differdange. There's a team from Armenia above them in the rankings called Noah. A team from Slovenia called Bravo. There's a team from San Marino called Trepen. A team from Gibraltar called Magpies. A team from Georgia called Torpedo Kutese. And a team from Malta called Hibernians. All above the mighty Karat.
Really? Celtic fans, well, no, don't. Have a lay-in. I was going to say give us a call. Have a lay-in.
Oh, give us a call. Come on.
For the weekend, if you've got lucky enough to get... Well, I was going to say if you're lucky enough to get a ticket. Maybe you don't want a ticket for Old Ibrox. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins. That was murder last night.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade with easy delivery tracking and 2-hour delivery time slots. Terms and conditions apply.
Gabby, just a quick one. Newcastle, the owners looked stony-faced there, didn't they, sitting in the stands?
Yeah, they come down to the pitch side, didn't they, as well? But they're a bit frustrated with this Isak situation because they probably...
I think one of them went to his house, didn't he, to try and iron the deal out?
Because they probably beat Liverpool and they definitely beat Villa on the first game of the season. If Isak's on that pitch, he would have been the difference because look at that first 20 minutes, little chances that Newcastle had that they weren't putting away, that final ball as well. They need to sort it out because I just don't see him leaving now. I just don't see him leaving. I really don't.
I'm a couple of games in, but who are you fancying here? You fancying Arsenal?
I am, mate. I really am, Al. I'm looking at them and they look so strong at the back. They've got options now. Calafiori starting. They've got Luis Skelly there. They've got Timber starting. Ben White's available. They've got cover in defence as well. Now, Eze's been put into it. And Arsenal fans last season would have been like, oh no, Saka's injured, Odegaard's injured, but...
Not as bad as...
No problem. Yeah, but no problem. We've got Eze. We've got Madueke, who come on and play better on the right-hand side. You've got two options on the left, Trossard and Martinelli. So Arsenal are in a great place, and I'll make them favourites. I think Liverpool's defence will let them down this season.
Celtic out of the Champions League, out on penalties. Keegan Bradley, now I don't know if you watched any of the golf. Keegan Bradley played brilliant. He's expected to pick himself as a Ryder Cup wildcard on Wednesday. Despite being warned by Sir Nick Faldo, it'd be the worst decision ever made by captain. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I think he's playing brilliant, Bradley. Maybe it's the pressure that Nick Faldo's talking about. Yes. On Saturday, President Trump posted on social media, Keegan Bradley should definitely be on the American Ryder Cup team as captain. And Alexander Isak's still desperate for his dream move to Liverpool, despite Newcastle chairman Yasser Al-Rumayani his attempts to convince him to stay. Reds legend Johnny Barnes joined H&J yesterday and was asked whether Isak is still the priority.
Well, modern football is so strange, isn't it? Because, of course, you can never tell what's going to happen. You can never tell. And, of course, you're looking at the situation whereby we've scored 6 goals in 2 matches. We're not looking particularly solid in terms of the transitions when we lose the ball from a defensive midfield perspective, protecting our back four. So, I'm thinking more, defenders and defensive midfield players more than Isak is more necessary. But you have to take the chance to get players when you can. Now, as to whether Newcastle are going to dig their heels in, we don't know what the situation is. So I don't expect anything in football. But nothing surprises me. So it wouldn't surprise me if it got done. It wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't get done.
There you go, Johnny Barnes. Transfer window slams shut 7 p.m. next Monday. Live into a special deadline day drive starting from 4. Followed by a deadline day special where chief football correspondent Alec Crook and Danny Murphy analysing and dissecting all the last-minute deals. Do you think we're going to get a few?
100%. I look at even free transfers. Some of the players available. Jamie Vardy. Still out there.
Well, if I was Celtic, I'd grab him.
Oh, what team needs a striker? Celtic for sure. The experience he'd bring to
Celtic. He was 40, but he's 38, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's 38, yeah. So there's still a lot of free transfers that can happen, but I'm sure this Isak controversy is not over yet. Maybe something happens late, but Newcastle really needs to get a striker in. They're trying for Strand Larsen, but that's as a Callum Wilson replacement, not even as an Isak replacement.
All right, 6:52 now. It's time for a bit of this.
We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on a balcony in summer air.
Please tell me this is not the big engagement.
It better not be.
What is up with you two today? If you're going to have a problem
What, a singer
with this...
American footballer? Who cares?
Everyone clearly cares.
No, we don't.
Everyone
cares. Hands up in here. Look, no one cares.
Put your hands up, Egypt.
No, I'm saying put your hands up, guys. No one's putting their hands up. We don't care.
I don't care.
Fine then, do what you want.
Just give us a decent story.
No, that is the decent story. Do what you want.
Ach, away you
Go on,
go.
sit some more and be miserable about Celtic, or you can focus on something.
Go on then, give us it. What's happened?
She doesn't care about us.
She having twins? What's happening?
No, she's not. She's getting married finally to Travis Kelce, who plays for the Chiefs, NFL super guy, and Taylor Swift.
How do you know he's a super guy?
I tell you what.
I tell you what.
I tell you what.
I tell you what.
He's delicious. Can you say that? That's
Pardon?
weird. Delightful.
Oh, delicious.
He is a dish.
Is your husband listening?
He's delicious as well.
Who's more delicious? Be honest.
Okay, it's Travis.
Al, what's going on, Al? What's going on, mate?
You must be a Taylor Swift fan.
No.
Now, what about the grandchildren? They must love Taylor Swift.
Never asked him.
Must be on sometimes in the house. Your kids must love it.
My
Gabs.
youngest daughter likes her. Yeah, she likes
She's
her.
got some tunes, some absolute tunes. But you know
Well,
what?
good luck to her, but I don't want to read about it front pages and inside. You know, there's so much going on in the world now. I don't want to read
We're
about
just
that.
trying to have a break from the negativity of football and manager pressure and transfers. Just go here
Is this her
and
first
there
marriage?
and Kyra Almaty and Rangers. And Keys a break.
Sorry, this is talk sport.
Speak to your producer.
Not
then.
talk on your bended knee, passing over a 300 grand diamond, right?
Unbelievable story. They're getting married. And do you know what? He put it out there because he once spoke in his podcast with his brother about going to a Taylor Swift concert and he hoped to meet her there and he had a bracelet and all that for her.
No,
And
they
then
had his number on it.
I
know.
You know. Oh, look up.
Hey?
There it's all coming out now.
Not the Travis I'm interested in. It's the band Travis who played at Chris Evans Carfest at the weekend.
It would suit you because Travis sang out Why Is It Always Rain on Me, doesn't it?
Yes.
Big cloud following
Was you
around
emotional
this
when you heard the
morning.
news then?
I actually went, oh my God, they're getting engaged. This is
Really?
lovely. This is lovely news.
Won't last.
Looking forward to the wedding. Oh, come on. I mean, 40 years you're married.
It won't last.
What's your advice to like a showbiz couple
Get a big prenup.
in sport?
Taylor.
She won't need his money. He won't need her money.
You don't think
This
so?
is love.
Nah. I think she'll have a prenup for sure.
Would you get a prenup? Because you're
100%,
engaged now.
mate. There'll be loads of paperwork. There'll be loads to sign.
Oh my God.
Yeah, of course. Are you joking?
You're going to... Hold on a minute, Gabby. You are actually going to put a prenup on the table in front of you.
100%. Probably be 10 pages long.
Right. Good luck getting on the door when you go home
What,
tonight.
is that not normal?
Tell this guy.
Al, is
Alan,
that not
please.
normal, mate?
He's getting a prenup.
Come on, Al. Al be out, mate.
He's got a prenup.
Al's got it.
Jill's
Al's
got
been
all.
locked away for 25 years.
Jill's got all my money. I don't know what it is. She's got it all. Seriously. I had to ask her for 100 quid today.
Does she? Does she keep the cash? I like that.
God, does she know she hides the cash? Well, not cash. She hides the money, not cash.
I said to him earlier, like, you should go away. And he's like, oh, Jill doesn't want to. I said, go with your friend. He's like, she won't let me.
You're pure under the
I
thumb.
know, you are, aren't you, mate?
No, she just doesn't trust me.
Where's the What? Don't say that.
Come on, Al, mate. You can be
Listen.
trusted, mate.
What to get home and all that to get in about
Yeah.
get on that plane and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you still have your seatbelt?
What? By the way, I hope you're not flying. I hope you're not flying Ryanair anyway. Hey? Squeezing into that seat.
Ignore her, Al.
Don't
Ignore
start
her.
with me.
Don't bite, mate.
Manjaro over there.
Hey,
You looking well, by the way.
I don't take jabs.
It's okay.
I'm
Martin really said well done to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for getting engaged.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what happens when you bring
Yeah.
up engagements.
Coming at me.
Good luck to them. Good luck to them.
Great chat, guys. Glad we got that off our
Yeah,
chest.
yeah.
Lady
Can't wait
Mama.
for the wedding.
10 years ago, maybe, but not now. Right, Shaban beat it. Right, 2 minutes to 7.
Hamilton, now at Ferrari, dares to dream of a record 8th F1 world title. The Tifosi will be hoping the Brits can bring glory back to Italy. To many, Ferrari and Formula One are inseparable. They're the only team in the sport today to have competed in the first World Championship in 1950, are the most successful team in history and have built some absolutely gorgeous cars. Their first driver's title was won in 1952 by Alberto Ascari. Considered one of F1's most dominant and best-loved champions, he drove the iconic Ferrari 500 and defended his title the year after. It was Juan Manuel Fangio in his Ferrari 250 who secured the team's next driver's title in 1956. Remember, he was world champion 5 times with 4 different teams. Mike Hawthorne, Phil Hill and John Surtees also won titles for Ferrari in the 50s and 60s, and the cars back then were beautiful, and they even sounded great, didn't they? Anyway, Ferrari went 11 years without winning a title until Niki Lauda won in 1975 in the iconic 312T. Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, though, Ferrari looked like they'd never go all the way again. Le Professeur Alain Prost came pretty close in 1990, but lost out to his bitter rival and former teammate at McLaren, Ayrton Senna. It was only when John Todt recruited a swathe of staff from outside of Italy, including Michael Schumacher, that the glory days returned 21 years after their last driver's title. The turn of the century saw the prancing horse sprint to an unprecedented 5 consecutive championship doubles. And after Schumacher left, Kimi Raikkonen reclaimed the driver's title immediately. But despite employing 1,500 people, the Iceman remains the last Ferrari world champion. So, 16 constructors' titles, 7 more than McLaren, and 15 drivers' titles, 4 more than, again, McLaren. Ferrari are truly Formula One's top team. Forza Ferrari.
Four minutes after 7 o'clock, talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil, Gabby Agbonlahor on the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. It's only August, but already been a disaster for Scotland's biggest clubs in Europe thus far.
Celtic are out of the Champions League on penalties. They've lost 3-2 in the shootout. Brendan Rodgers warned the board they had to invest in the team. You can now say you reap what you sow.
You have to win. It doesn't matter how you do it. You have to win games of football. If you don't do it, you feel the wrath of it.
I play for a Sunday team and I've saw better down a school pitch. Absolutely tragic.
Celtic fans obviously will be annoyed, but they also understand that they're just not at the level. They're just not good enough.
That's just a shame, because last year we made some great strides. With the greatest respect, this was a great opportunity for us to be back there. But sadly, we won't be.
They're heading for the exits here at Ibrox. Some of these Rangers fans, they cannot believe what they're saying. Rangers 3 down in 20 minutes.
It's absolutely disgusting. I've had enough.
There's been a fragility of this club for a long, long time, so it's not a new thing.
I want us to beat Bruges and I want us to beat Celtic and I want us to go on a run, but I'm concerned. Like every other Rangers supporter, I'm really concerned, mate.
There you go, Celtic crashing out last night, 3-2 on penalties. Last night, the sports bar, Jason Cundy said that Celtic only have themselves to blame for their own failure.
The truth is, they had their chance last week, right, at Celtic Park. That's their chance. To go there 0-0, and I heard Brendan's presser saying, we know what we've got to do, you know, it's in our own hands. Honestly, that is a terrible, terrible result for Celtic. And, you know, I mean, listen, the truth is they've got a better chance of winning the Europa League than they have the Champions League, right? But it's the financial muscle that gives you. That's where they've lost out.
Yeah, can you see Celtic winning the Europa League?
No.
I can't.
I mean, with that squad of players, if they don't get some decent players in the next 4 or 5 days, they will struggle in Europa League for sure. Some good teams in Europa League, Al.
Yeah.
Last season, like Rangers were playing some very good teams last season.
Rangers turn tonight. Can they get an early goal and make it interesting? We shall see. We'll speak to Ali a little bit later on. 03717 223344 is the number to call. Celtic fans, how are you feeling after that rubbish? And it was rubbish. I agree with Jason there. The first game at Parkhead, Celtic Park, that's where Celtic lost it. Make no mistake. They were poor and probably poorer last night. Are you concerned about the Old Firm this weekend? Celtic fans, do you go to Ibrox and make amends? I'm not sure. For more on this, let's bring in talkSPORT Scottish correspondent David Tanner. David, very good morning.
Good morning, David.
Good morning, lads. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, David, that was a late night for me last night, and I wish I'd gone to bed earlier.
Listen, what happened last night in Almaty, 3,500 miles away, should be of no surprise to anyone who saw the game last week in Glasgow. It should be no surprise to anyone who saw Celtic fail to hurt a terrible Aberdeen team at Hampden Park in the Scottish Cup final and then lose the treble on penalties. Celtic have not won a big game this calendar year. They've played Rangers 3 times, and a Rangers team that's been ripped apart by the new manager 3 times, lost twice home and away and drawn once. They couldn't beat Bayern Munich, but they did play very well against them. And at that point, Brendan Rodgers said, let's invest in this team and let's get back to the last 16 of the Champions League. The Celtic board haven't done that. And we now look at a Celtic team, for me, which has run its race. They've been in the Champions League group stage the last 3 years. They've had the legs run off them by Brendan and Ange Postecoglou before that, and they need a hand. And for some reason, the Celtic board decided to bring in 2 players today and not before this particular playoff. And that, for me, is absolutely astonishing. The Celtic board are very sensitive to criticism, but yet they brought this one on themselves. So it's a terrible way for a team to end, if you like. They've reached the end of a cycle, in my opinion, because it's been a really poor year. And this poor run in big games coincides with Celtic selling Kyogo in January, they're a great striker, and not replacing him. And that, for me, is extraordinary.
David, Kira at home have got a good record, you know, but I couldn't accept last night the 50-50s that they were first to or were winning. You know, anything that was, you know, go on, get on that. They were getting there first. Celtic looked leggy. I don't know why. It wasn't towards the end of extra time where I thought Celtic are now taking control. Can they get a goal? And of course, Maeda missed a great chance. It just bobbled up for him, but he's not the same player at the moment. Something's bothering him. I'm pretty certain of that. Midfield worried me, really did. I thought they defended all right, but it's not good enough, mate. It's not good. And the times, I'm not saying lack of effort. I'm not saying that, but they just look slow, closing and slow onto 50-50 balls, especially the balls that were dropping in midfield.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's what I've just been saying. That there is a legginess about this team. I think I don't want to say the legs have gone collectively, but certainly this is a group that has been over the course, been over the top so many times. There are signs of wear and tear. I think when Callum McGregor, who for my money has been the best player in the SPFL for many years, when he hung up his international boots, I think that told you a story about where. Where Callum, Callum is very much on the downhill now, having been on the uphill for many years. And I think there are other players who've reached that point as well. And that's where the point about needing investment has been really apparent to the Celtic supporters. And that's why they were so angry, yelling "sack the board" after last week's game. But let's be clear about this: what Celtic have currently in the squad, in the building, was more than enough to beat Kairat Almaty. Kairat Almaty are not even bang average. They will get battered in the Champions League. They'll get battered in the Europa League had they parachuted to that second tier. So the players and the manager also have to take their share responsibility.
They definitely had the team to go and win Celtic. But when you look at Kun, who I loved watching last season, selling him, Kyogo as well, who's doing very well at Birmingham City, how can you sell them players and then not bring in quality players to come and help the team, especially how well they done in the Champions League last season, Celtic? Surely as a fan, you must be so frustrated as, can't we push on now? Brendan Rodgers, can't we push on and try and strengthen his team? You know that the Scottish Premier League is more or less done every season, the way Rangers are performing. So Champions League is where the money's at. Just, it must be so frustrating, and I'm not even a Celtic fan.
The Celtic fans are not frustrated. They are absolutely furious because they know the game. They know what they're seeing. They've seen it. I think the problem, a lot of people look at them beating Livingston at the weekend, beating Aberdeen the week before, beating St Mirren. They've not impressed in any of these games, to be honest with you, but they've been winning. And people can write that off as, that it's the team's still gelling and getting match fitness in the legs and so on. But the reality is, it's a Celtic team that's lacked new blood. Now, one of the most bizarre narratives that's popped up over the last week or so is that the Celtic board gave Brendan Rodgers money for Adam Ida, who doesn't look like a £9 million player. It's absolutely true. They gave him £11 million for Arne Engels, who was on the bench last night, the Belgian international. Well, not every signing works, and not every signing works straight away. It doesn't mean to say that they shouldn't give him any players before a major tournament playoff match. So I think there's a level of hysteria around the football club at the moment. It's going to take all of Brendan Rodgers' experience to calm it down. But the reality is, the season, the season was the last 3 seasons for Celtic have been all about the Champions League. They're not there, and there's going to be one hell of a hangover. The irony is that Rangers should be able to take advantage of that because, as I say, it's a team that looks to me to be very much in decline. The results have evidenced that. But Rangers are looking unfit for purpose at this time. Their result in the Champions League last week was a disaster. They might still pull it back in Bruges tonight. I find it difficult to believe. They might beat Celtic in the Old Firm game, but there's been absolutely no evidence of that so far. So we're looking at Celtic and Rangers vulnerable. I don't think other teams in Scotland will be able to get close to them, despite Tony Bloom's interest at Hearts now, and with Hibs starting the season strongly. However, you never know. But one thing is for sure, the two sets of supporters in Glasgow have enjoyed European runs in recent years. It would seem unlikely this year, given what we've seen on the pitch so far this season.
David, thank you. Enjoy the weekend. David, thank you. Celtic fans, you know the number, 03717 223344. Rory's a Celtic fans giving us a call. Rory, are we overreacting here, or was that...
Good morning, Rory.
Right, lads, how you getting on?
Yeah, all right,
Rory.
What,
I don't drink, right? But that nearly drove me to it last night. That was horrible. 2 legs to beat a team from Kazakhstan. We had to get it done at Celtic Park. and Jordan, what was it, 110 minutes, 210 minutes, no goals.
Yeah.
Shocking.
No, I agree.
Big Ida up front, no good enough, mate.
Yeah. Nah, Rory, it was so. That's 2 games so poor. I thought Celtic had to improve last night and didn't. What about Chris, another Celtic fan? Chris, morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Chris, what do you make of it? The 2 legs.
Oh, I mean, have you ever seen a movie, a really poorly produced movie, where you can absolutely guarantee what the ending's going to be after 5 minutes? Well, that's exactly what that was last night. I mean, I was over in Munich there watching Celtic January, February, knockout stages of the Champions League. Come away for that game, proud as punch, absolutely dominated a team who have got real European pedigree to watching that last night. I mean, the decline is very, very stark. And, I think we live in a bit of a blame culture in football, but, when you're underinvested in a team, you reap what you sow. That's been a phrase that's been coined the past sort of 12, 14 hours. But you've not got a structure of a football club there. There's no director of football. There's no technical director. I mean, the team that started last night, albeit they should have had enough to beat Almaty, that team, first 11, combined value was 11.5 million.
Yeah.
And that's a team that's making the knockout stages of the Champions League.
How frustrating is it, though, for Celtic fans? I mean, like you says there, Bayern Munich last season made the team proud. And you look at the Premier League this season, Rangers, I think they've drawn their first 3 games. So you're looking at the SPL to be going Celtic's way again this season. You want to go again in the Champions League, don't you? It must be so frustrating as a fan of that football club.
Oh, absolutely. And, as I said, we can all see what's going to happen before it happens in Glasgow. You're never a million miles away from a disaster, but we've been fairly lucky with the 3 league games this season. I think the other side of the city, they've got a progressive football manager. And they could start to click, and I tell you, we'd be bang in trouble.
I'm worried about the weekend, Chris. Now I really am. I'm hoping Celtic can get out of the system. It's a long way back on that journey, but they've just got to pick themselves up here and go to Ibrox and get a result, and put on a performance. That's for sure, and give a little bit more effort and win 50-50s, boss the midfield, which they're not doing. But I'm not confident about it, Chris. Thank you, Rory. Thank you, Chris. Coming up, top of disasters, we turn our attention to another disaster. What on earth's going on at West Ham United? We'll find out next with their former striker. Dean Ashton joins us. 7:21. I can't believe we've not been playing Delilah. Stoke City, top of the Championship. All the Stokies around here on our staff.
What defeat last night for Stoke? Knocked out the Carabao
top of the
Cup.
table, 3 wins, 3 brilliant. And Borough. Do you know, I do fancy the Championship going to a Midlands side. Coventry, 33 from top.
They're
West
flying,
Brom
aren't they,
4.
Coventry?
Blues still 5th. Leicester up there. I fancy the Midlands, one of the Midlands sides to win.
Get some more Midlands teams in the Premier League.
And I did say I thought Ipswich were favourites at the start of the season. I thought, what? Selling the best 2 players.
Will Hutchinson go?
No.
That's killed him a little bit, hasn't it? But it's still a long way to go, Al.
Long way to go. Hopefully, we can get back up that table, but they worry me. And Norwich are down there as well. Moving to the Carabao Cup, Graham Potter just can't catch a break.
Wolves 3, West Ham United 2, and the crisis continues. Quadruple change from Wolves, spun the game round with 8 minutes to go, and that man, Jørgen Strand Larsen, he's in the news. Newcastle want him desperately. They offered £50 million today. It might take 60 or 70 tomorrow, because he scored twice in the space of 2 minutes after Areola made saves, one of them from a header, the other as he was falling backwards and blasted in from around about 12 yards out. It was end-to-end in the final few moments, but West Ham couldn't find a way through, and for the first time in a cup tie, Wolves have beaten West Ham United, Stuart Pearce, and on the night, purely based on that last 20 minutes, they probably deserved it.
Yeah, on the last 20 minutes they did. This game just hinged on basically Strand Larsen and his colleagues coming on. That, you know, 4-man substitution turned the game totally on its head, really.
Yeah, I said before, I'm not a 55, 60 million Strand Larsen fan, but 2 very good finishes last night, so well done.
Yeah, and he scores goals. You know, last season, 14 Premier League goals. He knows where the net is, playing in the Paul Wolves team as well. The crosses that Newcastle players could put in for him, you got Langer, Gordon, Barnes, Murphy, and he would be that backup to Isak, who I think will be back involved in a week's time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ooh. The Hammers led as late as the 82nd minute, but conceded the 10th and 11th goals in 3 games this season, crashing out against the Wolves, who themselves got a first win of the campaign. John is now for more. Former Hammer striker Dean Ashton. Dean, a very good morning, Dean, but a disappointing
Good morning, Dean.
night.
Yeah, good morning, fellas. But yeah, you're right. It was another real blow for Graham Potter, who I think probably was looking at that first half and was quite pleased with the way the team had been playing. They created chances, should have scored 1 or 2 goals with those chances that they created and should have been ahead in the game. But ultimately, there's that weak underbelly with the players that they've got at the moment, and especially defensively, you know, another 3 goals conceded. And when you look at the goals as well, they're just really poor defensive mistakes, especially the last one. You know, when you think, well, let's at least get to penalties, and then you allow Strand Larsen the freedom of the just outside the 6-yard box, was just simply not good enough, and that's been a big issue at the start of the season. Is defensively they look so weak.
Yeah. What about Jared then? What's your understanding, Dean? What's happened here? You know, as a player, you can't win if you don't go and applaud the away fans. You get pelters, and when you get beaten, you go and say thank you for coming, sorry, you get pelters again. What happened here? Because he's the best player by a mile.
Yeah, he is, and he was terrific again last night with a wonderful assist and had his chances, and he's obviously got the armband on as well. There was frustration at the end of last season. You could see that from him because he's playing at a level and the team hadn't. Now, you've got to control that still as a player, as a top player. And ultimately, if you're leading the club and you're captain, yes, of course, you go over to the supporters and thank them. But expect pelters. You know, these people are paying very good money to come and watch the team play, and you've not been good enough. And that's as a collective. You can't just stand there and maybe think you've done your job. And I think it was he apologised after because he understood pretty quickly it's the wrong thing to do. You just don't get involved in those scenarios because you're not going to win. You're the ones on the pitch delivering the performance, and the results, you know, say everything about where the club's at the moment.
Yeah.
Dean, I look at Graham Potter's timing chart so far, 23 games, 5 wins, 5 draws, 13 defeats, 22% win rate. And it doesn't surprise me, to be honest, mate, because I look at, like you mentioned, the defence. I look at the 3 centre-halves that started the season. I know last night Kilman was out and Mavropanos was in, but they don't attack crosses defensively. I mean, how many times are they going to concede West Ham from across with 3 centre-halves?
Yeah, I think so far it's been massively uninspiring. Graham Potter's tenure, there's been a couple of results in there, I know Arsenal away, that gave a bit of hope, but that you'd think after the summer that you'd see a real difference in the side. But there is part of me that not feel sorry for him, but ultimately he's inherited a side that was built for David Moyes and then Lopetegui, a team that sits there and defends and then counter-attacks, and he's not that. He's a manager that wants to play out from the back, that wants to get the team up the pitch, and all of a sudden the team and especially the defence look massively exposed for the lack of athleticism in the side, aggression, desire. That's a big worry. And when you start to see a lack of desire, you do start to think of the manager, because the players are pulling away from what they should be doing, which is all sticking together.
But Dino, when I watch Crystal Palace, they've mastered that 3 centre-halves, wing-backs, and they get their players on the counter-attack. You got Sarr, obviously Eze, who's left now, Mateta. But I look at West Ham and playing a similar formation. It just looks sloppy. It doesn't look like it's working. No pace on the counter-attack after losing Kudus. They really need to get some players in, don't they, before the window closes?
Yeah, they do. I think Magassi, I think, is possibly coming in. They need, again, athleticism in midfield, and hopefully he can bring part of that. But they need 2 or 3 more. And the recruitment's been so shoddy. Especially when you change managers and style of football, that recruitment, you have to be so aligned at board level to make sure that recruitment is absolutely spot on for the manager that you got in place. Or you as a club, like Crystal Palace you talked about, have got a real idea of how the team are going to play, and a manager then suits that team and are able to play and understand that way of playing. And West Ham have got neither of those, hence why they look so shambolic in parts of the games, and there doesn't even feel like there's that leadership from the manager and how he's going to play. And I've been surprised that maybe they haven't changed to a 4 and to try and change things. But at the moment, it's very difficult. You've got to try and stick together as a team, as a manager, as a group, because it probably feels like it's going to get worse before it gets better with the fixtures they've got.
Yeah, Dean, thank you. Talking about that, Gab. Dean,
thank you, Dean. Top man.
You're saying that they can't defend crosses. Where'd they go at the weekend? They go to Forest.
Oh, good luck. But Al, it's so frustrating. Like if I was Bowen and I'm Paqueta, I'm looking back and I'm saying, guys, there's 3 centre-halves. Like, you've got an extra centre-half in there, 1 striker in the box, and he's still winning headers. The Larson winner last night. Come on. It's so frustrating as an attacker.
Okay, 03717 223344. West Ham fans give us a call this morning. Was Bowen wrong to react the way he did, and do the fans have a right to protest what's happening on the pitch? We want to hear from you. Coming up, there's no doubt that Ingo Moha is a star after his winner for Liverpool on Monday night, but how far can this kid go? We'll find out next week's former coaches.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Okay, 25 minutes to 8 o'clock, back on Monday night now, and we're treated to what could be one of the best games of the season. Liverpool beating 10-man Newcastle in their 100th minute thanks to 16-year-old star.
Salah comes into the box, it's left, Engamoa to finish it, he's won it! Rio Engamoa, the teenager, has come up with a moment right at the end of a dramatic game at St James's Park to win the match. The ball in from the right-hand side, a step over by Szoboszlai. Engamoa, the teenager, coming in at the far post. And he himself has written his name into folklore with a dramatic winner.
What a finish. Thierry Rodriguez opened up. He just looked like he was going to score the second of it. What a moment for the young man, and what a moment for this Liverpool team.
This is just one of those nights you will never, ever forget.
Do you know, Gab, we said it before, these young kids have no fear, have they?
No.
No fear. That's a brilliant finish, by the way. He could have taken a touch. He thought, no, get in there.
Ow. When I was 16, I would have probably missed the ball then. The nerves of playing at St James's Park, 16 years of age. Like you says now, like Dowman at Arsenal, they come on and they've got all the confidence, doesn't faze them playing in front of 50, 60,000. No, really happy for the young lads. Got a bright future.
Just 16, Ingemar stole the headlines. A stunning strike in the 100th minute. He's an East London boy. I think it was at Chelsea.
Yes.
Yeah.
8 years at Chelsea.
The 16-year-old summed up the moment when speaking to Liverpool TV. This is after the game, full time.
I'm buzzing. So happy, to score, especially the winner. Yeah, what a good moment. Special feeling. Yeah, definitely happy. Yeah, the fans, I heard them screaming my name. That's a very, sensational moment, I would say. But, you can't just get too carried away with all the noise, like I said. Because at the end of the day, I probably do that finish 100 times on a training ground, so it's no different with the fans. But obviously the fans backing you there, and it's just crazy. Yeah, I'm 16, but, I don't want my age to show that, I can't play with the older players. I want to prove, a point that I can play with people not just my age. but many ages above. But like I said, just people at the club, they're always helping me, and I'm always learning and improving, so I can't complain. The mentality, that's one thing, that shouldn't get overlooked, really. I think being mentally strong, obviously winning 2-0, then they had the red card, and then, they scored 2 goals. But then us coming back and, really believing in ourselves, it's just, that's what the champions are about.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Speaks well, doesn't he?
By the way, I should also say Newcastle showed some spirit as well.
Oh, of course they did. With 10 men, I've not seen a team with 10 men play like they did.
Yeah.
They
should have been ahead, shouldn't they, when you think about it?
It's 100% the chances that they had. But what a great goal, though, Liverpool's winner. The passing.
Says he does 100 times in training. Let's get a bit more on this amazing young talent. Cross over to a very special guest, Saul Isaacson-Hurst, who coached Rio frequently. So it's a very good morning on talkSPORT to Saul.
Morning,
Hiya, Saul. Morning.
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
So incredible. Just listen to the kid there. No big deal. I do it all the time in training. So there's a few people in. It's a great moment for me, but no, I'm not fazed.
Yeah, he's a top player. I mean, I had him in my under-9s group as in the academy at Chelsea. Always stood out amongst a group of very good players. Just sensational box office, can beat players, and initially worked a lot on the end product. And as you can see the other night, he's added that to his game as well.
Why would Chelsea let him go? Is it a case that they've got so many good young talent that it's difficult for them to work out who's going to go on and be a proper player and who might have just peaked, even at 15, 16?
Yeah, I don't think probably they had much say in the matter, to be honest. I think they'd probably a decision from the family to move. So, Chelsea are blessed with a lot of talent, but for whatever reason, Rio's family decided to make that move up north. And I suppose, look at him playing already at 16, looks like he's made a good decision.
You know what I love as well, Sol, is that football clubs now, it doesn't matter about the age. You're good enough. You're ready. We talk about Downman at Arsenal, now Rio at Liverpool. I mean, when I was coming through at 16, they wouldn't even look at you. You had to get to like 18, 19 and we'll give that young lad a chance at 18. You're young now. I love how clubs are giving these players a chance. He's ready. Liverpool, they've got Gakpo on that side. Chiesa's not the same Chiesa from 4 years ago. So he's got a chance of getting real good game time this season.
Yeah, listen, I think if you're good enough, then you're old enough. Yep. And I think these young guys are knocking on the door. And Rio talked about it there in terms of mentality. I had in my academy group, but, he was working tirelessly away with his brother James. And James obviously takes a lot of credit for his progress, but someone who really knew, to put the hours in, the best do more. And I think the fruits of that labour is really turning out now.
What? So what do you do then? Who are you attached to? Is it your own private academy or what?
Yeah, so I used to work in the academies at Chelsea and Tottenham. Now I'm an individual coach. I work one-to-one with players, including Noni Madueke, Semenyo, Max Sarans, many others. And also got an app called My Personal Football Coach. It's like an online technical training app for players, parents and clubs.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Semenyo, by the way, what a player. And back to Rio, though, and I know Madueke, top player as well. But what's his work ethic like off the pitch? Because you see the joys when you see him score that winner, but a lot of people don't know what's he doing in his spare time. He's training harder, he's learning things, he's doing extra coaching. Is that something that he's always been doing?
Yeah, listen, like I said, he worked tirelessly away from training, in terms of with his brother James up the five-side centres, putting the hours in non-stop. And I think it's really, he's a great example, a role model for all academy players. Once you get there, you haven't made it. It's just the start of the journey, even when you sign your first pro. So he knows that, you've got to put that work in. Those marginal gains are so important, and that 1 or 2% can be a real game changer. So he's, like I said, he's a great young pro now, and he puts on the hours. He's always done that since a young age.
Wow. So many players you're working with, so roughly?
It varies. Like off season's obviously very busy. Have about 10 players consistently I'm working with, pro players that they range from, players in the EPL, Championship and the Premier League, and some players in Europe. So it does vary. It's probably about 10 players at the moment. And also I work with young academy players as well, aspiring pros and that sort of thing.
So no fallouts with the coaches, the managers, the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal, whatever, and Liverpool?
Yeah, maybe probably not top of their Christmas card list, if I'm honest. Maybe they don't. But I mean, it's these guys are coming to me for a reason. So look, I think the modern game's about specialism, and my specialism is about working individually with players, designing sessions that transfer into the game, and getting those guys to practice those game-changing moments, which they're celebrate for and paid us big money for.
Even 10 years ago, it was happening. I remember even with injuries, players would go and see like a specialist in their injury they've got, and they'd help with their rehab. And maybe sometimes the clubs didn't like it; they want you to use their physios, and even like yourself, like players are comfortable with someone, they're going to go and get that extra help of someone they get on with better.
Yeah, I think that the modern game players have got their own chefs, like say physios, and then people like myself. I think I just bring something different to the table, look at the game a bit differently. And even in those big clubs, maybe that fail to get that real individual attention in terms of what they need. We call it extras, but I mean, it's just, work on those skill sets that they need to develop and keep at a high level. So maybe, if you're looking conventionally, a lot of training these days is, team related, boxes, possessions, a lot of positional work. And are the players getting that time to practice those really important game changing moments?
I saw a clip of Semenyo. It was away somewhere pre-season. I don't know if it was with you, but every shot, left foot, right foot went in. I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, how have clubs let him sign a new deal at Bournemouth? I mean, I look at some of the transfers and he's a better option than some of the players going for 60, 65 million. What a player he is, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that was with me. We were out in south of France doing some stuff in the off-season, and just another sensational player, left foot, right foot.
Wow.
Unbelievable technique, quality, consistency, dynamic, explosive. I mean, yeah, he is truly box office and a Champions League player, in my opinion. So, yeah, maybe a bit unfortunate not to move this window, but he'll definitely move up to, a top club very soon.
So, Saul, is it just football you're coaching? What do you like at paddle? Because we've got an old man here called Simon Jordan who kicks Gabby's backside every time they play. Any chance of helping Gabby out?
Well, I'm just struggling against my missus, actually. We've started playing a bit of paddle there. So let me conquer that one first, and then I'll come back in and then give Gabby a hand as well.
I'm looking at some of the sessions you put on, and especially that one for Semenyo, and I think you'd be frustrated with me, mate. I'll be missing the goal every shot. So better quality players now.
Well, that's it. It's coaching. That's what coaching's about. You need support players when they need it, mate. So I'm always around.
Yes.
So keep up the
Thank
good
you,
work,
Sol.
mate. Thanks
keep
for
it
joining
up, mate.
us. Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Sol Saxonhurst. Sol Saxonhurst. I'm intrigued by this. I'm going to
like it, though.
This. Yeah.
But sometimes, Al, you do get a problem sometimes where clubs will have a go at players, say, no, use our guys. But now the money involved, the players, they've got their own chefs, like it says. They've got their own
Well, you mentioned it earlier. You touched on it with Arsenal. They used to go and any injuries, they'd go abroad and see their own doctors.
Yeah, see your own guy.
George Graham came in and says, "Hey, have you ever heard of Harley Street? You stay here. We've got the best in the world."
Harley Street.
Right, we want you fans to get involved this morning. West Ham, Celtic fans, you probably don't feel like it, but if you want, give us a call. 03717 223344 is the number you need. You both had shockers last night. Irons, how worried are you for the season? Celtic, are you nervous for Sunday's Old Firm game after watching that last night? That was dross. Former Celtic and Scotland defender Charlie McGrew will be joining us later on to show and try and dissect that shocking Champions League exit, home and away, by the way. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
but I'm really intrigued with that guy.
Yeah.
Saul Essex in Hurst. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name, but I find that incredible that the players can use someone outside the club. The club
I know.
let that
It'd never be.
By the way, I'm not having a go because it's clearly working.
Yep. And what I like as well is now, Al, the money involved, the players. Okay, I'm going to south of France. Sol, can you come with me? I want to do a session every day, keep my fitness across the summer.
Yeah.
The money involved now, they can afford to take their personal trainers abroad and put sessions on for them. A lot of the players do it in Portugal. You'll see them use the same pitch in Portugal, the Algarve, where they all go.
Where would you take your private coach?
Mine was in Vegas, mate. We couldn't get no pictures.
Bel Air Club. Bel Air Club.
I was on the strip in Vegas doing some runs, Al. I'm on my day off.
Right, what do we know this weekend? This Wednesday... weekend. What do we know this Wednesday morning? With the weekend's gone, there's some cracking games. What do we know this morning? Celtic are out the Champions League, crashing out on penalties. We'll move on. Keegan Bradley is expected to pick himself as a Ryder Cup. By the way, well done, Tommy Fleetwood. It's taken me 2 hours to get that out. Well done. Rock on, Tommy. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Talk about pressure and holding putts. He was magic. Brilliant. But Keegan Bradley also played well. He's expected to pick himself as Ryder Cup wildcard today. It's going to be great, this Ryder Cup. Despite being warned by Sir Nick Faldo, it would be the worst decision ever made by captain. I don't know what he means by that, Nick. On Saturday, President Trump, Donald posted on social media, Keegan Bradley should definitely be on the American Ryder Cup team. As captain, he should. And tonight, League 2, Grimsby take on United in the Carabao Cup second round, live on talkSPORT. First time United have entered at this stage since Louis van Gaal's team were demolished 4-0 by Dele Alli-inspired MK Dons. And there's a blast from the past. Mariners boss David Artell joined Jeff Stelling and Ali yesterday. He challenged his team to have no fear.
They're motivated to do well. You know, we're talking about 11 human beings in red shirts. They're not superheroes. They're extremely good at football, and we respect them. But we don't fear anyone. And I don't want this to sound like sort of fighting talk or anything like that. They're an extremely good team. They were outstanding on Sunday, and they've got a world-class coach. It's going to be an extremely tough night for us. But at the same time, we want to give our best shot. We want to put sort of Grimsby Town on the map. And like I said, you just never know.
You say they were outstanding on the weekend. What game was he watching?
No, I don't know, because I was just about to say, I thought United played well in defeat, first game, and then second game I expect a big improvement.
Poor.
Well, the second half, I'm like,
really poor.
And Cunha, who I really like, and Bumo.
Quiet.
Very quiet. And what about Bruno? What about the penalty? What is going on here?
But it's Al, don't wind me up, because I haven't been on to speak about it. The way he was moaning. I was watching a game and he's yapping away at the referee for about a minute, and I'm like, just shut up. The referee's knocked into you. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Get the ball back, recalm yourself, and take the penalty. Don't blame the referee. Honestly, he's one of the most annoying players you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
That is not what a captain would do. Imagine Manchester United captain Roy Keane. Never, ever, ever be talking about a referee knocked into me and he affected my composure. Shut up. Just put the ball in the back of the net.
I agree. Okay, for more on today's biggest stories, head over to talksport.com. Now, Shaban is back with us for a wee bit of this.
Stick a load of singles in there and then they fall in love.
Of course it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
A 36-year-old, you'll have the knockers. You will.
Just because it's offering its teat, do I really have to muscle on that?
Is there anything in your personal life that could be causing you stress, sir?
I'm not a great lover.
Hello. Oh. What's your name?
Sarah Louise.
Sarah Louise. Fuck, you're up for it, aren't you?
You know, I was in love at the time. That's what I was doing.
At the time?
Right, Shaban is back with another new outfit on. I thought recessions hit your hobby must be doing well with 3 companies.
Cheap as chips, Al.
Is it?
Yeah.
How many companies?
I'm all about recycling.
3 or 4 now, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, 3
he's
or
not
4.
told me.
Well,
He's got company I don't know about.
I think he's got a lot you don't know about.
Stirring the pot.
Let's move on quickly. We know where this ends up, these two.
I know, exactly. Little liar.
So, Dinosaur knows a few things you
Stop making nonsense up.
He's been around for thousands of years.
I'm starting to bite
You
back.
might be giving it the old lady marmalade over in New York. I don't worry about that. He was giving it something else.
Oh, like what, Al?
Go on then. No, please. Continue with your lies.
Well, you know, I know one of his mates.
You're a liar, actress.
I know one of his mates, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
what
yeah.
What is it you call him by the Mr. name?
I'm not telling you.
All right, it's fine.
Alan with a lion hair as well, Siobhan. So
Yeah, it's
I'll trust
okay.
him.
I'm not even bothered by it. Where the hell were you when I was away? Kobe Mainoo to Real Madrid. Swipe right if you like, swipe left
blown out,
if
isn't he?
you don't. This is just a mad story. He could be swapping Manchester for Madrid. He's linked to Real Madrid, but there's also reports that Atletico Madrid are sniffing around as well. Haven't reached a new deal at Manchester United, and it seems like Kobe isn't part of Ruben Amorim's plans. Valued at 60 or 70 million. 10 caps for England. Left or right, my guys?
Oh, it'd be a great move for him, but I just don't see Real Madrid paying 60, 70 million because you look at it, it's a player that the manager doesn't want. He's not playing. All Ruben Amorim's doing is putting his value down.
Why?
I don't know.
Why is he not part
I
of it?
don't understand it. For me, he should be a starter. You know, you change your formation and you play with maybe Casemiro, Fernandes and Mainoo in
I
there.
thought Casemiro was on his way out.
I know. He loves Manchester, doesn't he?
Does he?
Yeah, he loves
So goodness day, Casa. But he's got about 50 minutes in him at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a shame for Mainoo, but
Casa.
he needs to move.
Casa is now, eh?
Casa.
Oh, that your mate, yeah?
Casemiro.
Football
Are
friends.
you working with Casa on a weekend?
Yeah, actually.
Swipe left for me, Shabam.
Oh, dear. Okay.
I'm going left.
All right, fair
Don't
enough.
see it happening.
How do we feel about Harvey Elliott to Crystal Palace? From one bird to another. 22-year-old.
Never played again. Jones was in ahead of him up at St James's, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Is he injured or not?
Well, no, this is it. I mean, he's versatile. He's ready to shine. He's won the title. Yeah, he must be, and he's looking for that constant game time in the Premier League. Glasner could offer that, and he's looking to fill that Ezzy-shaped hole in the team. Swipe left or swipe right, Harvey Elliott to Palace.
Yeah, I can see that working. I'd go
Me
right.
too. I like that a lot. Needs to
You've
go and
got a
play
match.
regular football, Shabam.
Yeah.
Like McAtee's gone to Nottingham Forest.
Is he not getting the Villa side?
I'll take him 100%. We need numbers.
Well,
We're really struggling.
Now you mention it, Conor Gallagher to Aston Villa.
Get him in.
Madrid to Birmingham, possibly for Conor Gallagher, who spent the last year in Spain. It's reported Atletico would want 50 million for him. He's linked back to Palace, possibly Spurs, but now Villa are said to have shown their interest as well.
Yeah, we'll have to pay that over 10 years, though, that 50 million with our financial troubles and the PSR rules. But I like him. But I just don't see him leaving. Let's talk about Crystal Palace as well for Gallagher. I don't see him leaving Atletico Madrid.
Give us one more,
Good game
Shaban.
time.
One more.
That's all I've got for you. Talk to me about Jamie Ahern. Who's he linked to? What's your story?
Go on, Al.
I can't talk over the air. I'll talk to you privately.
Right. You've got a match. You couple of little...
Has he got another trip lined up?
Not that I know of. Again, you probably know before me.
Yeah, I've heard there's another golf trip coming up. I've heard.
There is a golf trip booked. I know that for sure,
but
yeah.
make sure he takes his golf clubs and doesn't leave them at the airport.
You're full of it this morning. You're taking Celtic out on me, and it's not right.
Yeah.
Don't forget, that was our transfer Tinder package. Don't forget, deadline day shuts Monday, 7 o'clock. talkSPORT will be the place to be bringing you all the deals as they happen. So many deals left to be done. You don't want to miss it. Coming up, we'll turn attention back to Celtic and speak to a man who will be gutted last night. Charlie McGrew is with us next.
The Lions. Real-life fantasy rugby. Bitter rivalries set aside in a quest to create the world's best team in weeks. There's nothing like it, but who on earth had the idea and how did it all begin? Incredibly, the first Lions tour was organised and funded by three men who played in England's first ever Test cricket match: opening bowler Alfred Shaw, opening batsman Arthur Shrewsbury and captain James Lillywhite. The 1888 Lions squad, then made up of 17 English, 4 Scots and 1 Welshman and a Northern Irishman, took a 46-day boat trip to New Zealand before heading to Australia. The Lions weren't alone on the boat. Also on board were 300 stoats and weasels, who were brought over to eliminate New Zealand's rabbit problem. The first ever Lions captain, Robert Seddon, died of drowning midway through the tour while sculling on a river. Andrew Stoddart, who was another of the cricketers there, took over and was the star of the tour. The next one was the first to get official recognition from the RFU against the newly formed Springboks. Although the Lions won the series and beat the Boks again 5 years later, in the 12 series since in South Africa, they've only won 2. New Zealand has proved an even tougher hunting ground, just a 1 series win for the Lions in 11 attempts, which came in 1971. And then there was that nail-shredding drawn series in 2017, only the second in Lions history. Only once have the Lions clinched a series after losing the first test, 1989, when David Campese's infamous ghost pass was pounced upon by Ian Evans. Before World War II, the Lions had a dark blue strip, which on the 1930 tour forced the All Blacks to play in all white. So in 1950, the iconic red shirts, white shorts and blue and green socks combination was born. It remains the symbol of the greatest alliance of adversaries in all of sport. To borrow the phrase from Jim Telfer, the Lions is Everest.
By the way, we've got Shabana, haven't we?
Yeah, she's nervous, isn't she?
Oh.
God, just give him a call and...
Sounds alright.
Yeah, just give him a call and see what's going on now. You know what I mean?
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil Gabby and Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Now, we've been talking Celtic this morning after the shocking aggregate defeat to Kazakhstan side Karat in the Champions League qualifier. Celtic out on penalties. Manager Brendan Rodgers spoke following defeat regarding the disappointment.
That's just a shame, because last year we made some great strides. You know, I've said before, we had a hint of what we could do at the level, and with the greatest respect, this was a great opportunity for us to be back there. But sadly we won't be. So plenty of endeavour, plenty of honesty, but the Champions League is a wee bit more than that.
Fans will be wondering why Celtic, with the resources they have, went into these ties that are so crucial, so ill-prepared and under-resourced. There's an answer to the why, because people can't fathom it, I don't think.
No, listen, I always think that investment is great, but it has to be a timely investment. investment to in whatever it is you're doing. It has to be all at the right time. But at this moment in time, we can still have a very good season. The Europa League, some will say we deserve to be in that this year.
Brendan Rodgers there. I tell you what, Gab, this is a big few days coming up for Brendan. The Rangers have got tonight's game. We'll talk to Ali a little bit later, live from Belgium. Rangers 3-1 down, and probably not expected to go through, but you never know with Rangers in Europe. But come the weekend, Ibrox. Rangers just lately have the upper hand in the Old Firm games. So how does Brendan pick this Celtic side up, who looked leggy to me in that match? Over 2 legs, the sparkle had gone.
Missing something, aren't they?
The sparkle had gone. So what does Brendan do? They'll have a day off today, won't they?
Yes.
And they'll be in tomorrow. Does he give them just a light sharpened bit? Is he talking to them all the time, the importance of this game Sunday?
I think the leaders in that dressing room as well, your McGregors, your Kasper Schmeichels, can they have a meeting as players and say, come on, we've got a massive game Sunday. It's not been good enough this season. Yes, we've won 3 out of 3 in the SPL, but the performance in the Champions League, which they should have been up for a lot more. You look at the game last week at Celtic Park, the prize is Champions League football. As players, financially, you're going to be rewarded for that as well. As a club, you're playing in the big competition of the Champions League, and you haven't turned up. Like Brendan Rodgers says, Al, they deserve to be in the Europa League. You don't just get Champions League football.
By the way,
for the sake
listen, don't knock the Europa League either.
Of course.
Because, it's not an easy one to win. It's not an easy one to progress to a quarter-final, semi-final.
But it must be frustrating for Brendan because you know what it's like, Al. Managers, they're a bit weary, aren't they, of going and asking and arguing with the board for more finances. But to sell Kun and to sell Kyogo, their 2 best players, and not bring in anything near good enough.
Yeah.
That's always going to be a problem.
Again, Gab, I thought defensively Celtic were good.
Yeah.
Midfield not good enough, and up front, very poor.
Yes,
very poor.
totally agree.
So let's say a very good morning to former Celtic defender Charlie McGrew, who joins us now. Charlie, morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Charlie.
Morning, Al. Morning, Gabby. How you doing?
Good, mate. 2 poor games, Charlie. Parkhead, I really was disappointed in that. I thought Celtic would win 2 or 3 there. They didn't. But I thought, well, they've got to improve over there. And they didn't. I just don't get what's happening at the moment. For me, they were second to the ball, second in the 50-50s. Thank God they defended well, or it might not even have gone to penalties.
Yeah, over the 2 legs, defended really well, Al. The first leg didn't create anywhere near enough, weren't at the level. Well, it wasn't a typical Brendan Rodgers Celtic team performance, especially in that first half. They came out the second half, and they huffed and puffed and played a bit better, but they never done enough. And then last night, the pitch was terrible. And I think Celtic tried to play a lot of short passes. They just kept getting intercepted, and they were breaking away. I just think they could have changed it up a wee bit and played a bit more direct. I know it's maybe no Brendan style or a typical style Brendan would play or Celtic would play, but I think it was on the minute they started playing the long passes and making them defend and making Kairat make decisions. Then that's where the chances came. Most of the chances came in extra time.
Yeah.
But just such a cruel blow, a sore one, especially we made this chance in the last 2 minutes of the game. He goes through in the goalkeeper, and I mean, I know you were a striker, and good strikers will say everything kind of slows down. You slow the play down, and you kind of just, it seemed to be 100 mile an hour. And nearly, if the ball hit the net, he'd have burst it. I mean,
Charlie, if you watch it again, it's slightly, I'm not making excuses for him because I thought he was poor both legs, right? And he's been fantastic for Celtic. But the last 2 legs, the last 2 games, I'm thinking, home and away, I'm thinking, is he all right? Does he want to move? But it just bobbles. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there because he should have scored. But if you watch it in slow motion, it just bobbles slightly and it sends the ball over the bar. But that wasn't him. He was giving the ball. He was trying his hardest, but he was giving the ball away. Like most of the Celtic players, we couldn't pass the ball. And I agree with you, the pitch was bad, but they passed it better than Celtic.
Yeah, they did, but Celtic had most of the possession. They kind of just sat in a block, and it suited them for the pitch. The pitch not to be great because then Celtic moved the ball slowly. Listen, Maida was the only one last night that was very loose in possession. Anytime the ball went into people's feet, there was a lot of bobbly passes. You couldn't play first time. You couldn't play quickly. They'd look down at the ball and take 2 or 3 touches. Listen, it was disappointing. It's a sore one, but listen, need to move forward. The signings should have come in the door. They lacked at the top end of the pitch. Everybody could see that clear as day. They needed players in the top end of the pitch to give everybody else a lift and to have that cutting edge and the threat at the front of the pitch. But they never. For midfield and defence, they're pretty strong, but in that top end, they get kind of found out.
Do you feel confident Charlie Sellett will bounce back at Ibrox?
Yeah, they need to. That's the nature of being at Celtic. You need to turn up. You need to be ready to go against Rangers. The fans will be asking for that. Will be demanding that. So as a club, you need to get over the disappointment quickly, and you need to get ready to go. There's nobody feeling sorry for you up there.
Charlie, I went to my first Old Firm game last season at Celtic Park, and I couldn't believe how electric it was, the energy, the adrenaline watching that game. And I look at Celtic fans waking up this morning, and I feel like they'll be thinking, Kyogo left, Kun left, and we haven't brought in the quality to replace those players. And Celtic fans live for Champions League football, don't they? Tuesday, Wednesday nights under the lights.
Everybody wants to be in that Champions League. Everyone wants to be up there at the top table playing. Celtic deserve to be there as a club. Many players have spoken in the past about the atmosphere at Celtic Park. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's teams that want to see Celtic in that draw and to come to Celtic Park and play there. So it's so disappointing. You're right with Kun and Kyogo not being replaced. Jota comes in January, but he's got a bad knee injury, so that's a blow right away. But I think it's clear as day wingers were needed to be brought in. There's James Forrest and there's Yang there. James Forrest's been a great servant for the club and he'll play his part in the squad, but he'll admit it himself. He's not going to play 40, 50 games in a season. He'll play his part and he'll come in and do bits, but he's at an age now where he's probably a squad player. Yeah. So players had to come in the door. They took a bit of a gamble by not doing that, and it's not paid off. But in saying that, Gabby, there was chances over the two legs. There was chances. Made his chance. I know Alan sort of backed him up and sort of.
He didn't have to take it on his left foot. You know, I've been in that position a lot. Keep it on your right foot, your better foot, and just slide it past the keeper.
Yeah, and even if you take it in your left, just surely you know you're running about 100 mile an hour. The guy's the fastest guy I've ever seen. You know that you need to. You only need to make contact for it to go past the keeper. Yes. The keeper comes flying out. And even if you do lift it a wee bit, you've hit it that soft and it comes back down and goes in the net. If you'd hit the net, it's just flew by my hotel one day there. The ball's still moving.
Charlie, you know, in terms of lack of investment, if you go back through the history of Celtic, this is not new. You know, the time Celtic wins something, you think, go on, kick on. Step up another gear. They don't. They think, no, we've got enough here. We don't have to spend loads of money. That's the history of Celtic.
That's what they do, right? And we can sit and criticise it because we all want to see as fans the best players on the pitch, and we want to turn up and see and get Celtic Champions League and trying to progress and try and get out of the group stages and try and go and have a right go. But the reality is they are in the position they're in because of how well they've been managed by the board. When you look at the state Rangers got their sell in, Celtic have been managed so well. Their ethos in bringing players in and selling them on, I don't think you can knock it. I think you can't take for granted how well Celtic's been run over the last 20, 30 years.
Absolutely. Charlie, let's see what the weekend brings.
Yes.
We'll watch with interest tonight as well. And
Gabby, I saw you in Dubrovnik in the summer.
I know, mate. I know. You're about 7 foot, you, ain't you? I felt like Barry Bannon walking past you, Charlie.
You were with some beautiful women, by the way.
I'm punching on,
mate.
I'm punching in, Charlie.
By the way, that wasn't his bird either. That was coming out of the casino. Charlie, take care.
Top man, Charlie.
Fingers crossed for the weekend. Cheers, Charlie. Brilliant.
I walked past him in Dubrovnik.
Did you say hello?
Yeah, said hello. Yeah, we walked past each other. I was going up they're called the Shame Stairs from Game of Thrones in Dubrovnik.
Shame Stairs?
If you watch Game of Thrones, there's a scene where it's shame. And I saw him walking down them. He's tall, isn't he? Jesus. I felt like Little Sam.
Right, okay, coming up to 8:15. Thank you, Charlie. Coral Odds coming up. We'll chat with Alex Crook as well around 8:45. Crikey, I thought we were going to get Shaban doing some Irish dancing there.
She can do it though, can't you?
London Bridge, 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Go full river dance.
She can do it, Al.
You get
I
the
know
drinks
she can.
in. You struggling there with your headpiece?
Yeah. These are murder by with these earpieces. Honestly, useless. talkSPORT breakfast. Why are we playing this? Well, Shaban is back with us for more. What you got?
Well, today is a happy 70th birthday to the Guinness World Records. Title ranges from the world's longest tongue, yuck, to the most expensive collection of Spice Girls memorabilia. Gabby, you've attempted world records before, haven't you?
Not that I can remember. I might have done one on this show, I'm sure. Something silly.
What was it?
I can't
Tongue
remember.
twister? It was a tongue twister, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm not doing that again.
You're miles off it, to be fair. Can't count to 10. Well, the bookkeeper of weird and wacky achievements. The first volume was published on the 27th of August, 1955.
Is it someone McWhirter who looks after
I don't know. Good question, though.
I think it is.
Okay, you know some random stuff. But some of the following haven't been claimed. So you can set yourself a record today if you fancy doing these. The most whoopee cushions sat on in 1 minute, random.
4 cushions.
The fastest time to blow a stamp, 10 metres.
Okay.
The furthest distance bottle flip, and the most high fives in 30 seconds.
Oh.
So we could probably do that one now. Do you two want to high five each other?
No.
You could be one high five.
No, this is just nonsense.
It's a sports show, isn't it, Al?
It's absolute nonsense. Why are we doing this? What is wrong with you? Has someone bothered you? Has someone upset you this morning?
You're the one who's
garbage.
flying off the handles at a bit of light-hearted chat.
No, it's a talkSPORT breakfast.
Yeah, fine. That's fine.
Guinness Book of Bloody Records.
It's the Alan Brazil breakfast show.
That's fine.
Come on.
Go on then. Talk amongst yourselves then. I'll just say.
Right, beat it, Shaban.
Bye-bye.
Right now, the latest sporting odds with Coral and Simon Clare.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
And a very good morning to I haven't got a clue. Who is it, Steve-O?
No, it's Simon Clay. You just said my name.
Oh, did I? No, I didn't. I never said Simon, did I?
I thought you introed me.
Well, Alan.
Simon, what do you make of this? What do you make of this Guinness Book of Records? You know, what a load of nonsense.
Funny enough, every now and then we have talked as a PR team about whether we could try and create a Guinness Book of Records. It's very commercial. You actually have to pay the Guinness Book of Records, a lot of money to even get your record in the Guinness Book of Records.
We'll just get Steve-O on it losing tips.
But I'll tell you something though, Alan. Simon Clare has got the Guinness Book of Records of Instagram stories in Greece. He's videoing his lovely 5-star hotel on Instagram.
Santorini, was it?
Yeah. He's Instagram famous, mate. Simon.
You've cashed some of your shares in already.
Listen, I was only there for 5 days. I couldn't afford 7. And then, I'm not that good at it, Gabby. You're very harsh. I try. Honestly, I'm so impressed by everyone else putting together little video collections of their memories of their holiday. I can't do that.
I enjoy them, mate.
So Gabby's just told me, smash into Club Bruges tonight with 3 goals or more.
This is your vengeance after last night. Listen, they're 3-1 down from the first leg, Rangers, so it's going to be really tough. They're away from home. Just to put it in context, to qualify, they're 16-1. We're 1 to 150 that Bruges get through. So I think Ali is going to be coming on later. Even his optimism, surely.
I think Simon, a 3-1 again to Bruges. I can see very good side, mate. Last season, Villa struggled away from home when they played against
You were there,
them.
weren't you?
Yeah, very good side. Hostile stadium as well to make it very difficult.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty bad. I imagine 3-1 would be about a sort of 16-1, 14-1 chance.
Oh, really?
I think it's going to be tough for Rangers, isn't it? I mean, there's no question. And so that would mean them both Rangers and Celtic in the Europa League. Is that correct?
Yeah. And by the way, that's not easy to progress either. There's some good teams in there.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, we got some qualifiers actually tomorrow night. I mistakenly thought they were tonight. No, Crystal Palace are in action, aren't they, against Fredrikstad in the Conference League tomorrow? They're long odds on to win that game. But Caribou Cup tonight. So I don't know if you watched much of it last night. It's a fantastic action with Leeds going out, Sunderland going out. The West Ham Wolves game was an absolute corker. We've got Everton against Mansfield. Nigel Clough's Mansfield from League One, who started the season well. Are going to Everton. There, sort of odds against there in that Caribou Cup tie. They're 12-1 to pull off a shock at that fantastic new stadium. Everton 2-9. Don't know if you watched the Brighton game. And the new stadium at Everton looks good, doesn't it? Guys?
Oh, the atmosphere looked magnificent. Well, sounded and looked brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm glad they got the winning. Jack done well.
Have you seen the clip of when they're coming out of the tunnel?
No.
Wow. The adrenaline the fans must have had and the players coming out. It looked like a great atmosphere, Simon.
Yeah,
and I know. Listen, you even probably bigger than me as a Jack Grealish fan. It was just great to see him get involved straight away. I mean, I know somebody said it was an easy assist for the second goal, but actually the pace of that rollback was perfect for the strike, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Gabby?
I think for him as well, mate. It's just you train all week to be going out and playing football. Going out and starting games, and he loved football that much. You'd just be happy to be out there. The assists are a bonus, and I'm sure he want to score sooner or later, but. Tonight, wouldn't surprise me if he wants to start tonight. Just keep playing football.
One nice thing about Jack, and a lot of time he'll get it wide, Simon, and if it's not on, he'll come inside and retain the ball and pass it and keep the ball. And then every now and again he thinks, right, I'll go inside, but I'll go down the outside and whip it across like he did for the first goal.
Exactly, yeah. And listen, I think, to be honest, although people sort of say Pep Guardiola maybe modified the way he played, I think actually he's probably learnt a lot from that, which will benefit him even more now he's getting more time on the ball and more game time.
What about Grimsby, Man United? Because I thought Manchester United, after the first game, I thought they're going to be much improved, but they disappointed him against Fulham.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Fulham in action as well tonight. I mean, that 1-1 draw wasn't the best watch, but I mean, they're 1-8 away to a Grimsby side who are League Two. They've got 11 points from their first 5 games. Blundell Park, it'll be a full house, I'm sure, at Grimsby. They're 20-1 to pull off a shock, 8-1 the draw. The fact there's no extra time, go straight to penalties, always gives hope, I think, in these Caribou Cup ties, doesn't it? And I think the 8-1 the draw will be what Grimsby fans will be looking at. Take them to pens. It'd be interesting to see what side Amarin plays, won't it, Al, Gabby? But they are 1-8 United to maybe get a real confidence boost tonight. I mean, I imagine they should win, really.
Simon, after York, where are we now with the ARC betting?
Good question. The news was that Ombudsman won't go for the ARC. He's going to head for the Irish Champion Stakes and then probably the Champ Stakes. He was brilliant, wasn't he, in the Judd Monty? Let's have a little look at the ARC betting. Yes, the ARC. You haven't been for a while. I haven't been for a while to the ARC. No, I wouldn't mind another trip. I tell you what's Calpana, Andrew Balding's filly, the Judd Monty filly. She's 5's favourite. Minnie Hawk, who won that very weak Yorkshire Oaks, is 7-1 for the Aidan O'Brien team. It doesn't look a vintage ARC. If I'm looking, Whirl is 7-1. The other Aidan O'Brien filly, they're the front runners in the betting.
Remember Dancing Braves ARC? There was 5 great horses in that race, Group 1s.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the best ARCs of all time, I think. And Dancing Brave was
race for the ages.
amazing.
That one. I mean, they've been great. Listen, they've been great ARCs. The likes of Dalakani and Mongeur winning, of course.
Enable.
Celebra. Oh. Great race. I wouldn't mind getting out there again. Steve always tends to head out to Paris. With his other half,
it'll be hand in hand in the Champs-Elysees, won't he?
Hand in hand.
If he's misses, if she's got a free hand, she's normally got a glass of whispering in it now.
I tell you actually, in front of the Coral Race Club is a lovely horse called Aspire to Glory. He's won 4 races this season. He's quite lowly rated. But there's a race for him at Laytown Races next Thursday on the beach. Absolutely. So we're going. Coral Race Club is going to have a runner. I'm heading out there on Thursday. It's an evening meeting on the beach. I think it's shown on Racing UK. I really can't wait. I think the entries close Friday or something. But so that'll be something different. Not quite Paris, but just 30 miles.
And how would you rate the ground then? What would the ground be classified as?
Pretty good. Sandy. I mean, it's basically when the tide goes out, it turns it into a lovely flat. You know what it's like when the sand's just sort of drying. And they put the rails up, they put the stalls on, so you can watch replays from last year. It's crazy. And
they get good crowds as well, don't they? Where is Laytown? Whereabouts is it, Simon?
It's about 35 kilometres north of Dublin. I think it's it's a 70 euro cab ride or a train journey up to Laytown. 4:30 start. Finish at 8:30, night in Dublin, fly back in the morning.
Lovely. Simon, have a great day. Thanks,
Simon. Guys.
Simon Clare, look at the latest sporting odds thanks to Coral, 18plusgamblerware.org. Right, coming up, is the pressure already beginning to build on Daniel Farke at Leeds United? Well, losing to Sheffield Wednesday side that had 9 players under 20. It was always going to be hard for Leeds. Always hard going to the Arsenal. So I think you just got to forget that one. Leeds' battles are not against the big boys. I know they want to be playing the big boys, but their battles are the bottom half, aren't they, to stay in the Premier League? Yeah. And I don't think that's, it's a blow, but it's not that much of a blow. You know, with the greatest respect, I think
a lot of teams, when we're looking at the Carabao Cup, and if we get through, it's okay, but if we don't, never mind. We had the Bromley manager on.
I was weeks ago, and he wasn't bothered. They beat Ipswich, didn't they?
Yeah, but he wasn't too bothered the round before about we get through. We want to save players for the weekend. So you're talking League Two teams that weren't taking it as serious as you would think. So I'm sure.
Gabby, come the weekend, Leeds Newcastle, great game again. Another brilliant atmosphere.
Yes, 100%.
Newcastle not far to travel down to Leeds, so it's going to be brilliant.
I think as well, Al, you want to get that first win. Villa haven't won yet. Newcastle haven't won yet. You want to get that first win under your belt.
Absolutely. Right, 8:30. Right now, the latest sporting odds with Coral and Simon Clare. And a very good morning to I haven't got a clue. Who is it, Steve-O?
No, it's Simon Clay. You just said my name.
Oh, did I? No, I didn't. I never said Simon, did I?
I thought you introed me.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Some are pretty straightforward. Arsenal are the Gunners because they were founded by a group of munitions workers, and Bournemouth are the Cherries because their old stadium was built right next to a cherry orchard. Then there's Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ipswich Town nicked their nickname off their opponents in the late 90s, Birmingham. The term Tractor Boys was chanted as a way to tease the team about their farming background, but they started using it themselves as a way to cheer on the team in victory instead. Take that, Birmingham. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Crystal Palace's nickname came from an extreme makeover. They were having a nightmare run in the 70s, and when they were relegated, their manager, Malcolm Allison, wasn't having it. I know what will make us better, he thought, a new nickname. The Strong and Deadly Eagle sounded like a pretty good bet. And there's more to that story. Brighton used Palace's nickname to inspire their own. Ooh, bird, they thought. Let's just pick a different one for us. And so, in a heated match between the two teams back in 1976, when Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," Brighton fans had the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." So next time the away ends chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
West Ham go to Forest. Just some of the games we've got this weekend. Everton Mansfield tonight, Carabao Cup second round on talkSPORT, 7:45. talkSPORT 2. Grimsby versus Manchester United on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock. Friday, it's a good game. Leicester against Birmingham City in the Championship.
Big one.
8 o'clock kickoff, talkSPORT 2 exclusive. And Saturday, 3 games. Our 3 games are Chelsea, Fulham, West London Derby, Premier League. talkSPORT exclusive. Then we go Borough against Sheffield United. Bottom of the table. Can you believe it? The Blades. I can't believe that when I looked earlier. Middlesbrough, Sheffield United, talkSPORT 2 exclusive, 12:30. And then Ipswich Town, we need something against Derby County in the Championship, 3 o'clock kickoff. Right. talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Brazil, Gabby, and the Arnold Clark app. Buy a car and opt in to Arnold Clark Rewards to enjoy access to great giveaways and everyday perks. West Ham's bad start to the season continued yesterday, made it 3 defeats from 3. 11 goals conceded. They got a couple of crackers. Good. Was it the second goal cracking header? Crashing out the Carabao Cup to Wolves, having led up until the 82nd minute. After the game, Jared Bowen had to be restrained by stewards when he went to confront some fans, but later on he wrote on social media, apologised to the fans for tonight's reaction. The England forward wrote on Instagram, I'm someone who's passionate and I'll fight every time I step on the pitch, but I need to set a better example and you fans know how much I love you and this club. We ride through the bad times together and I'll see you all Sunday. Well done. I like that. But I don't know what was said to him. He went over to applaud the fans. He's got a bit of stick, and Jared's reacted badly. But look, that should put it right. I hope
100%. It should be forgotten now. But like you says, Al, sometimes players go straight down the tunnel, and the fans are fuming. You haven't gone and clapped the fans. He's gone all the way over, and maybe one fan said something that he didn't like, and it shows his passion. He'll be frustrated. He'll be confused why his team have had such a bad start to the season. He'll want to put it right.
Yeah. Staying with the Carabao Cup now, Jeff Stelling and Ali will be on a little bit later, gloating, bringing the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast as they delve into whether it's time to put player welfare first and get rid of the League Cup, really. Ali had some very...
money again. I know, it's all coming down to money again. I know, it's quite sad. It's pathetic, really, to be honest with you. I think it's a tournament that's held its own and stood up for years and years and years, and it's given us some fantastic games, fantastic cup finals and fantastic winners. None more so than last year. I get it, and I get it early on in the competition. Some of the big clubs in particular would want to change sides and maybe give their 15-year-olds and their 16-year-olds an opportunity. Great.
Well, they would do, but, what about the rest of the football pyramid? The Carabao Cup's a source of income, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course. But maybe what you're earning in these early rounds isn't as big as maybe what we think, because Bromley got knocked out last night on penalties to Wickham, but the round before, we had the Bromley manager on, and he was like, we got big game on the weekend, we got a couple of players with little knocks. We're going to have to rotate as well. Not that he wasn't bothered, but he was a bit like, it's not our priority. So that's a League Two side as well. So maybe it's going down the leagues where Stoke getting knocked out last night, but that's such a great start to the season. Maybe they weren't too fussed of being knocked out as well.
I'm sure our next guest, will he agree with Ali or not? John is now as a man who presided over one of the most famous League Cup victories in recent history.
Afobe brings it forward. Afobe! 4-0! That is it. 26th of August 2014, a day on which Manchester United broke the British transfer record, but the day will never be remembered in United history for that. An unforgettable night as United travelled to Milton Keynes for the first time in their history and were beaten, one of the biggest upsets that this competition has ever seen, one of the greatest football clubs in the world, and that football club have been beaten 4-0 in Milton Keynes on an unforgettable evening.
Yeah, the last time United played at the second round stage can avoid history repeating itself in Grimsby tonight. Delighted to see that former MK Dons boss, now in charge of Salford City, still trying to go over that Cheltenham night down in that hotel in Chichester. Carl Robinson joins us now.
Good morning, Carl.
Very good morning.
Morning, chaps. How are we?
Good, Carl. Carl, Ali's basically hinting there that, is it time to get into the League Cup? I'm not sure. Is it?
No, it's not. I think someone said before, the Bromley manager spoke about it's not priority. I don't think it's going to be many people's priority, regardless whatever league that you're in. A few years ago, they changed the way we started the season over in Scotland. They started the League Cup early and used it as the pre-season games. About 4 years ago, I think the last pre-season game that we had that as the first round of the Carabao Cup or whatever it was called back then. I think as a manager, I preferred that. I think it gave the first round a little bit of something to play for everybody. We all use it as our last game before the league started. And then obviously for the second round elements of it, you start getting the big teams coming in, where then it does become a financial windfall for us.
I think for me, Carl, as well, I remember under Martin O'Neill, if you started the season off and you're in the Premier League team 11, you maybe rested you for the Carabao Cup games because it gives other players, fringe players, a chance to impress. But I remember when I wasn't in the starting team under Paul Lambert, when you come to Villa, and I played in the Carabao Cup early rounds against Man City away, and I scored a brace. And then on the weekend, I was in the starting team and didn't look back then under Paul Lambert. So it gives a chance, doesn't it, for fringe players to go and show the manager, I should be starting in the league.
Yeah, it's massively important to keep your squad happy as well. I think if you look at it, not just you're looking from the top coming down, Gabby, you get a game. But I think even for any team from outside the Championship, you're playing against Aston Villa at Villa Park. Doesn't matter who plays for them. You're still playing the might of the football club. And you're saying before about, that was a long time ago, the Man United game, but we beat West Ham 4-0 at Oxford.
Yeah.
And they went really strong that day under Pellegrini. And we actually beat them. And it was one of their strongest teams they played. So it doesn't matter who's in any team. But us lower down in the pyramid, one, it's a financial windfall, but equally as well, it's an opportunity to play against a badge with history and so much going for it. So I'm a little bit disappointed that any manager lower down wants to disrespect any sort of competition, because it can create we all moan about we want more money to bring in more players. And we've got an opportunity to do that and win games of football. I don't see why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Carl, what about what sort of start you had with Salford? You happy with your start or?
All right. We've been okay. We've still not got our full squad yet, or full quota, but we're on 9 points after 5 games. We're going to be really competitive this year. That we feel we've done a lot of good work in the last 2 weeks. The window's obviously coming to a close. As much as what the headlines at the top of our game, the lower you go down, the movement that we're starting to see is incredible. And some of the money being spent lower down the pyramid is getting stronger and stronger.
It's frightening.
MK Dons have had a good go, haven't they, Cole?
Yeah, they have. But you know what? Brilliant. It just shows that we have some sort of wealth even lower down, even in League Two. We can't be far behind that. We've got a new members club, but that's only sort of come to forefront of our football club in the last 6 weeks. And it's exciting times for everybody here. It's come at a perfect time within a window. So for a manager, when you get that in a window, it gives you a chance to strengthen. And we look forward to it. We've started really well. We could have had a few more points on the board, but I think everybody will say the same. And we're looking forward to our game on Friday night.
Carl, it's difficult, and some people might not realise, when you're down there, and with the greatest respect, you try and get someone who's playing non-league, but he's got a great job and getting well paid, and he doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to play League Two. He's happy doing what he's doing. He's getting more money.
Yeah, I do feel there's in the last few years that sort of changed. I think people speak about the money with our game right the way through. Gabby just said then about MK Dons. There's a few teams within our league that are really aggressive and almost spending money that I think League One, League Two is almost on a par now of what we spend. Obviously, you go to the Championship and it increases tenfold, and you go to the Premier League, it's even more so. But I think them days are gone a little bit. I think we have the financial strength to pull players from non-league. We've done that this summer. We brought Callum Cisse from Wealdstone and Addy we brought in from Barnet, who've been wonderful players for us. And one of them had 2 jobs last year. So to have one job and be a professional footballer is a dream come true for any young player.
Yeah, good.
100%.
Who have you got the weekend, mate?
We've got Cheltenham, the different type of one that you don't like at home.
Is that away or at home? If it's away, are you staying down in Chichester?
You stitched me up that night. Honestly, you can't do that thing. Killed me. Put me in a police cell for the night.
Listen, good luck, buddy. Speak soon.
Top man call.
Oh dear. I remind, if you want to hear more from
Al, the players won't be staying down after the game with the manager, the coaches. Stuff.
I remind, if you want to hear more from Alan McCoy's rant about the big clubs that want to get rid of the League Cup, the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily Podcast is available on all the usual podcast platforms, as well as the talkSPORT app. Right, let's look ahead to the next part of the show with Benchmark, part of Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmark's Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmark's.
I know this much is true.
Oh, he lost it then.
I know this much is true. I'm definitely struggling with it.
It's been a morning of giggles from McCoy after Celtic's Champions League exit last night, but it's tonight Rangers' turn to crash out of Europe. Ali will join us live from beautiful Bruges for his take on whether the Gels still have a chance of overturning a 3-1 deficit. Gabby thinks not, having watched the Villa struggle over there. And West Ham fans, we want to hear from you on 03 717 223344. Give us a call this morning. Just how bad is the situation at your club? And should a player ever clash with fans, even if it is your star? That was a breakfast preview with Travis Perkins. Higher.
Magic. Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
10 minutes to 9 o'clock. Yeah, that's right. talkSPORT. Let's catch up. It's time for a bit of this, Ed.
Rookies Roundup, right here every day. Rookies Roundup, which players are on their way. If an agent's got a story.
Hello, Alex Crook. What you got for me?
Rookie gets it first.
Yeehaw, cowboy! There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah, that's right. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, is with us. Crookie, morning.
Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. Always good to see you both.
Alex, what's happening?
I'll say the same.
Let's kick off. Let's get the latest on Newcastle. Incredible, almost a brilliant comeback, wasn't it, against Liverpool? But how's the striker problem they have going to resolve itself?
Well, I think this is the saga that's going to keep us in thrall right up until the deadline on Monday night. I'll be on air 7 till 10 with Mr. Deadline Day himself, Jim White, just as the window closes at 7, reacting to all the big movers and shakers. And I'm pretty sure Newcastle and Alexander Isak in particular will be top of the agenda. We know they've made a second bid now for Jurgen Strand-Larsen at Wolves, £55 million rejected. But it's unusual for a Premier League club to make multiple bids for a player without some encouragement that he's open to the move. So I'm expecting Newcastle to go in again. Wolves' stance is that Strand-Larsen is not for sale this summer. But I thought it was interesting to hear Vitor Pereira last night, their manager, saying every player has his price. I do fear for Wolves if they lose Strand-Larsen.
Alex, if Newcastle get him, does that mean that Isak will get his wish and head to Anfield?
Well, this is being billed as a Callum Wilson replacement. Obviously, he left Newcastle on a free transfer at the end of last season. They're also saying the same about Jan Wisser, who they're still trying to prize away from Brentford. I was with Keith Andrews at their game at Bournemouth last night, and he was speaking in a similar tone to Pereira, really saying that I want him to stay. He scored 19 goals for us last season, but I've not got my head in the clouds. So again, I think he knows that every player has a price. And if they do manage to get the two strikers over the line, then yes, I think that would open the door for Liverpool to revive their interest in Isak. I certainly don't think we've heard the last of that.
Crooker, there's going to be a lot of outs, isn't there, at Manchester United? Højlund, Anthony, Sancho, maybe Mainu as well. But the Sancho one, is that a worry for you as a Manchester United fan? Because it doesn't seem like he wants to join the Turkish side that come in for
anyone.
him. Yeah, anyone.
Anyone. You know, he could have gone to Chelsea after his loan period, didn't want to take the relevant wage cut. There was interest from Roma. Again, he turned his nose up at that move. And as you say, Fenerbahce and Jose Mourinho, the latest club to show an interest in him, Besiktas as well. But he doesn't seem keen on that move. I think it's a frustration for Manchester United that Sancho isn't showing much willingness to move on. But I guess his camp will say, look, he's on a lucrative contract. He's only got a year left. Why shouldn't he milk it? So I don't think it's a guarantee that Sancho leaves the club. I do think it's a guarantee that even if he stays, he won't be reintegrated.
He might love Manchester like Casemiro does, Crookie.
Yeah, I'm sure his wages are not a coincidence either. But I mean, it's an issue, isn't it? Because you've got this bomb squad, and Ruben Amorim, backed by the board, has taken quite a tough stance with them. The only one who's actually left to this point, and we're less than a week away from the window closing, is Marcus Rashford. And he's only gone on loan. Yes, we expect Alejandro Garnacho to end up at Chelsea, but the two clubs still some way apart in terms of valuation. I think Anthony, if he goes back to Betis, that will only be a loan deal initially. And there's a little bit of a stumbling block when it comes to Rasmus Højlund and Napoli, in that Manchester United want a loan with an obligation, so a guaranteed sale at the end of the season. I think Napoli would prefer an option at this stage.
Rashford, did he not get hauled off at half-time at the weekend?
Yeah, I think he did. I've got to say, I've not tracked his progress at Barcelona too closely, but I think you're right about that. My son's a big Marcus Rashford fan, so he keeps me updated on his every move.
How do you feel about that, Crookie? Your son being a Marcus Rashford fan?
Well, it was during COVID, and obviously he did a lot of good work off the pitch, you know, with the free school meals. Unfortunately, he's lost his way since then, and I hope that he can find it again in Barcelona. He's got a massive opportunity, and there's still an outside chance he makes a play for Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad, isn't there? I'd be surprised if he's in the squad when it's announced on Friday, but never say never.
Trouble at West Ham last night with Jared Bowen. What are West Ham going to do, Alex?
Well, they've got bids in for about 16 midfielders. I think Sangare at Nottingham Forest, the latest one they're trying to get on loan. They do need legs in midfield, don't they? It's a big problem with the squad, in my opinion. I mean, there's many problems. They've not got enough pace, I don't think, now that Mohamed Kudus has gone either. But I don't really understand why a West Ham fan would turn on Jarrod Bowen. He's been just about the only shining light since the start of last season. I said it to you guys on breakfast when Ali was in last week. If I was Jarrod Bowen in a World Cup year, having been left out of Thomas Tuchel's last squad, I would be contemplating my future, because I think if he stays at West Ham and they continue to struggle, I think his place on that plane would be vulnerable.
What about Crookie Spurs? Missed out on Eze. They obviously need a number 10. Any idea who they're going to get in?
Well, one of the stories in my notebook yesterday was about Tottenham being interested in Lucas Paquetá. Obviously, they've already signed Mohamed Kudus from West Ham. I think Graham Potter would be loath to lose Paquetá, but the impression I get is that if someone is willing to pay around £60 million, then West Ham maybe, in order to help bring new players in, would be willing to accept that. Obviously, it was controversial selling Kudus to Spurs, so I think it'd be difficult for David Sullivan to sanction another West Ham player making that controversial move. There has been some chatter this morning. They're contemplating a move for Antoine Semenyo. I can tell you that's been laughed off by my sources at Bournemouth. He's just signed a big new contract, and Daniel Levy's just not going to pay that kind of money, is he?
No. Alex, nice one. Thank you.
Thank you, Crookie.
Alex Crook there, bringing us right up to speed. Don't forget, next Monday, 1st of September. Yeah, can you believe it? The 1st of September on Monday. The transfer window slams shut at 7 p.m. Live into a special Deadline Day drive show. So that's at 7 o'clock, 1st of September. Followed by a Deadline Day special with our chief football correspondent Alex Crook, former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy. You won't miss a thing with us. Up next, West Ham United fans. 03717 223344. That's the number to call. Should a player ever clash with the fans, even if it is your star player? Is Crookie right? Should Bowen leave? Is he too good for West Ham United? Let's hear from you next up.
The Six Nations, where giants do battle and legends are made. Epic sports which demands an epic voiceover every time. And actually has an interesting story as well. It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. The other home nations were a bit jealous, wanted in on the action, and after England played Wales in 1882, they all decided to hold an annual festival of international rugby, or the Home International Championship, which kicked off a year after. Now, the first decade was dominated by England and Scotland until Wales finally won in 1893 and Ireland a year later. After years of dipping in and out of the championship, France was invited to join full-time in 1910. But because France isn't a home nation, they had to give it a rebrand and settle on the Five Nations. But France were actually kicked out of the tournament in 1931. They were accused of paying players when rugby was still strictly an amateur sport. They had to wait years to be let back in, but after World War II, the Five Nations resumed. Didn't always run smoothly though, like in 1973 when all 5 teams won 2 matches and lost 2 matches. Now, because they didn't do points difference at the time, they just decided that everyone was the champion. It's like trying to keep kids happy, you know, the whole "you're all winners." In the years following, other teams in Europe started to get better at rugby and actually got to a stage where they were regularly beating teams in the Five Nations. In 1997, Italy beat Scotland, France and Ireland home and away. So 2 years later, the Five Nations invited Italy in, creating the Six Nations as we know it. In recent years, there have been calls to expand the tournament further to other European teams. Georgia and Portugal have been prime candidates to join of late. It's also been suggested there could be 2 tiers with promotion and relegation to promote growth of the sport in Europe. But the existing nations are a bit reluctant. So for now, it looks like the Six Nations, or Six Nations, or Sei Nazioni, is here to stay.
Celtic are out of the Champions League on penalties. They've lost 3-2. Adamida missed the first one. Luke McCowan missed the second one. And then the fifth one was missed by Dyson Maida, all saved by the reserve goalkeeper Timirian Anarbekov. 3-2 to the Kazakhstan side on penalties. The Scottish champions are out.
Ed, we are going to fall out. We are going to fall out, let me tell you.
All right.
Yes, not great from Celtic last night. 3-2 loss on penalties to Kazakh side. Kirat Almaty ranked 2011 in UEFA's club rankings, following 2 0-0 draws. Honestly, Benburn and Glasgow are flipping ranked higher. It means that Celtic will miss out on a Champions League football for the first time in 4 years, and will have to settle for a place in the Europa League this season. Right, let's get it out of the way. Here comes McCoy's. Morning, Ali.
Morning, Ali.
By the way, I've not even went to my bed because I didn't want to sleep in for this. I've stayed up for 7 hours bigging.
You've been one of them mushroom shops, have you?
By the way, walk on through the rain. It must be pouring in that studio this morning. I'm going to tell you that, boy.
Just wait. You get a few Stellas down you tonight over in Bruges. Don't you worry about that.
Oh,
laugh all you like.
Oh, I watched it, pal. I mean, it was dear me. I know we sent each other a wee message, mate, but
I mean, in all seriousness, pal, it's not a laughing matter. I mean, the two of us, I mean, Celtic, it's clearly domestically still better than Rangers at this moment in time. I know we've got a big game on Sunday, but I mean, does it tell you where we are as a nation?
That's what worries me.
Oh, I'm even looking at the amount in Aberdeen and Hibs have got as well, mate. And I know you and I have a right good laugh about it, and that's the way it should be, but I thought last night, man, they look clueless, and I know the boys that have been on this morning. I've been listening to the show this morning, and I know, and Charlie's right. They created one or two chances, but you've got to be beating that team, mate. You must be beating that team. Do you know what I mean?
I thought we're second best all over the pitch, to be honest. Apart from defence, I thought Celtic defended well. They didn't have enough quality, and when they did get the ball in the box, Celtic defended. But midfield and up front, I don't know what's wrong with Maeda. There's something wrong with him.
No, definitely, mate. And I've got to be honest here, I think he's been a good signing. I really do. I think he's been a good signing for Celtic. But what I would suggest to you, Al, Gabby, he'll score you goals, but he's not a classy goal scorer, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? I think his work rate's tremendous. He goes up and down that left-hand side. I certainly don't think he's a centre-forward. I know he's been playing through the middle. He doesn't have the composure to be an out-and-out finisher, I don't think. I mean, he's got a lot of qualities, a lad, but he's had a couple of chances in those games that have honestly seriously cost Celtic. I get that, but I think it's very important you don't make him a scapegoat, because over the period,
I agree.
Ali, as well though, when you see the chance where he ran through 1v1 and you look at that chance, we were all strikers. It's on his right foot. Why would you come onto your left foot? No reason to your weaker foot, and just side foot it, slot it.
Yeah. Gabby, I've no idea, mate. Sadly, is the answer to the question. It's a good through ball. Was it McGregor played the through ball? He's through. But I'll ask you the question. Were you confident he was going to finish?
No.
There's players that get through in that position, and you fancy them. You think 99 times out of 100. The one thing that he never shows, and let's just shouldn't turn into an anti-Maeda thing, because it's not the big picture's is greater than that. But we're specifically talking about his finishing. He lacks a little bit of composure. See all the great finishers, all top finishers. I keep saying it, Gabal. The split second before the finish, they compose themselves. They just take that wee split second longer to compose themselves, make their mind up, and do it.
Similar to Nunes, isn't it? Similar to Nunes. He probably would have done the same running through a Liverpool.
Correct. Absolutely. But Al, I thought midfield and in forward areas. But Alan, you tell me, Gabby, right? I'm picking up the paper this morning, and Celtic look as though they're going to make 2 signings.
Yeah.
Oh, aye. That's a great idea. I tell you what we'll do. Well, why don't we close the gate when the horse is bolted? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what annoyed me as well, Ali? Even simple things like, thank God we defended well, but corners 4.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, right, we're really struggling here, so we'll win it from a set piece. They couldn't even get a corner past the near post.
I know, mate. Alan, I look, particularly Rangers. My complaint about Rangers is that I just think they're soft, I look, and there's no mental strength, and there's no physical strength, really. And for the first time, I looked at Celtic last night, and I'm not sure you had any real men, any real leaders that would do that extra wee bit to get you over the line. I mean, Callan's been absolutely terrific. I like the centre-back, Carter Vickers. But do you know what I mean, Alan? I'm looking at Celtic, and I'm looking for somebody to go and grab the game by the scruff of the neck and do something different. Go and try and win the game. And I don't think they had it last night. And I don't think Rangers have got it. You know what I mean? Rangers obviously, it would take I think it'll take a minor miracle actually for Rangers to progress from tonight.
Well, they have shocked us in Europe before, Ali. Rangers in Europe, you think, that the lead's not good enough. They've gone away from home and won. If they get the first goal, who knows? But as Gabby was saying, he watched the Villa out there. He reckons Bruges.
Good team, aren't they, Ali? Good team.
Oh, a good team. They're a level up. I mean, I would suggest that Bruges, I think I said last week, Bruges, they kind of, where they are, is where Rangers and Celtic kind of want to be. You know, competitive in that tournament every year in, year out.
Yes.
And Bruce, you've got there, and the recruitment and selling process has been excellent in recent years, and I think that's where the two Scottish clubs want to be. But no, I think this is a level up again, Alan. I'm with Gabby. I mean, I saw them a couple of times last year. Obviously,
Very good
they
team.
beat the Villa. That was the Tyrone Mings one, unless I'm mistaken, Gabby.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, they beat the Villa at home, so they're a more than capable side. So it would take something special, I think.
Ali, what is Russell Martin thinking, right? He's getting pelters and people say he's not going to be there long. If he can get a credible performance tonight and beat Celtic Sunday, could that change everything for him?
Oh yeah, it can change quickly. I mean, we get asked the question all the time, is Russell Martin under pressure? Of course he's under pressure. Rangers managers are under pressure that are second to Celtic. Celtic managers are under pressure that are second to Rangers. That's the way, you know that better than me, that's the way that it operates. But it can change quickly. Will it change quickly? I'm not so sure. I haven't seen anything that would give me encouragement to see it changing, Alan. That's the problem. You know, I'm looking at the performances. I mean, St Mirren there, and you've got to qualify it by saying Motherwell, Dundee and St Mirren have all deserved and warranted to take something from the games against Rangers. So that's the first thing you've got to see. You've got to be fair to these teams as well. I mean, a lad Robinson at St Mirren, I keep saying it, I think he's doing a fantastic job, and generally speaking, it's a tough place to go to. So that actually result didn't surprise me, but the performance disappoints me. The level of performance when you're looking for your team to maybe, I keep saying, go and do something different, go and take a hold of the game, go and grasp a game, go and take a game by the scruff of the neck. There's no people to do that.
Yeah.
Ali, we have to play this to you, mate. You have to hear this. This is how the game sounded on TV in Kazakhstan last night.
Maya dalgan qarsa. Sonымен Anarbekov.
Ali, that was not the commentary. That was a part of the audio from.
Dear me, mate. So listen, hey, the only disappointing thing, I never get that Shaban this morning. How was she this morning? Was a wee face trip now?
Oh no, she's not bad at all. I don't know what's wrong with her. I think she's turning. I think she's a United fan now.
Alan, here's one for you though. What do you think? I mean, from Brendan's point of view, right now, unless I'm mistaken, Brendan prior to the game correctly has been, I think, indicating that he's been a bit disappointed in the incoming transfer.
His body language tells you that, Ali.
Correct. That's where I am with it, you know. And he must be saying to himself, come on, give me a hand here. You know, give me a help. And I'm looking at it last night, and the irony, I think, will not be lost in the Celtic supporters, Alan, if all of a sudden 2 or 3 new faces come in through the door. Why? Why now?
Yeah. No, well, David Tanner said that earlier. We spoke to David. I don't know, but I also mentioned, Ali, that over the past decade, Celtic have done this. They've won most domestic things and haven't really strengthened. They've sold but haven't strengthened. But they've got away with it. They've won. They've kept winning, you know. But this, I just got a feeling now, if this goes pear-shaped Sunday, there's going to be a huge backlash, you know. And listen, Celtic will get money in the bank.
Well, Alan,
they'll miss that 30 million, of course they will. But they'll still get European football.
Well, Alan,
there will be a backlash.
Ali, at least Celtic don't have any players that refuse to come on in games.
Oh, that was shocking, by the way. Don't get me wrong here. Hey,
wow.
Yeah, that is unacceptable. But listen, I'll run this by you, Alan. Gabby, tell me if I'm wrong here. I think the last maybe month or so has shown me, now I know a lot of people will disagree, I actually, and I've thought of a long time, and Rangers a strong Celtic, right? Because do you know what it does, in my opinion? It forces them.
Ali, you go on, give us, Ali, you keep breaking in and out, but keep going, give us one last goal.
Right, I'm just saying to you, mate. I think Celtic and Rangers need a strong opposition because I think my bottom line is I think Celtic have made those signings. See if Rangers are running them close and they're worried about Rangers. Celtic have made those signings before the European tie. They're looking across the city and saying, I think we've got them covered for the league this year, so we'll maybe not need to strengthen. And I genuinely think a strong Rangers makes Celtic work harder and vice versa. I think a strong Celtic makes Rangers work harder.
Ali, enjoy tonight. I look forward to talking. I look
Let me
forward.
get a prediction.
Don't be having a sleep in tomorrow. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Alan, Ali, can we get a prediction of both of you for tonight?
Oh, we'll not do it in 90 minutes, Gabby. It'll be 3-0 after extra time with the Rangers. I'll go to extra time, mate.
Lovely. What about you, Al?
You're going to get gubbed. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Top man, Ali.
Hey, what's the love, big man?
Go to the Stella Artois, Poirot.
I shall, pal. I'll enjoy my Poirot tonight. Don't worry about that.
16 after 9. He's loving it over there, McCoy, didn't he? He loved that last night. He texted me a few times last night.
Did he?
Yeah, but sensible. He wasn't gloating.
Al, I love Bruges, by the way. I'm so jealous he's there. I'm going to go this winter on a 2-dayer. Lovely.
Well, they
lovely
do a nice. I think they've got a nice Christmas market there.
Yeah. Get the Eurostar straight there.
They're going to start doing that from Stratford, you know.
Are they?
Okay. I believe so.
Anyone that's not been, please get to Bruges. Couple of days, stunning.
Yeah, very
Cobbled
old,
streets.
ancient, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely, mate.
talkSPORT Breakfast, me and Gabby. Now, Manchester United travel to Grimsby Town in the second round of the Carabao Cup tonight, looking to avoid what will be one of the biggest cup shocks ever, and it's live on talkSPORT. But let's not forget, United, they have been humbled in the past.
Mistake by the mile. Afobe brings it forward. Afobe! 4-0! Brilliant finish by Benik Afobe. And it doesn't matter who is wearing the red shirt. This goes down as one of the most embarrassing defeats in Manchester United's recent history. Milton Keynes of League One lead Manchester United by 4 goals to 0.
And here's a chance for Beckford. His touch has just took him a bit wide. Is it going to roll in? It is for Leeds United. They've come here to Old Trafford with a positive frame of mind, and they've sent Manchester United packing from the FA Cup in the 3rd round.
Manchester United are out. They've been knocked out by Championship Bristol City on a famous night at Ashton Gate.
And there it is. Coventry have caused the upset of the Carling Cup 3rd round. Sir Alex Ferguson's men dumped out by the Championship side.
Well, that's what happens when you play for the big boys. Everyone wants to their night of glory, don't they? Against you.
Big game tonight.
Live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. Live commentary comes from Blundell Park as League 2 outfit Grimsby take on Man United in the Carabao Cup, looking to inflict one of the biggest cup shocks ever. What sort of side do you think United will put out? A strong side?
I think it has to go strong.
Do you?
Yeah, because they've got no European football this season. This is a chance for them to have a cup run, try and win another trophy. And also, there's players that need game time. Shesko needs to start. You know, he's come off the bench in the first 2 games.
Do you know what?
He needs to start
what
tonight.
What do you make of him?
I think it's going to take him a bit of time. Maybe he hasn't had the best pre-season, but
he's not athletic, is he? You know, he's a big lump.
Yes.
He's not gangly, that's the wrong word, but he's long striding rather than sharp and nippy.
But I think we won't see the best of him, Al, until maybe another month's time. You know, with these transfers that they've had, Gyökeres looked a lot better on the weekend against Leeds, took his goal well, and the penalty, of course. But I think Shesko probably needs 3 or 4 90 minutes before you start seeing how good he really is. But tonight's perfect. Go and get your first Manchester United goal. Is there other players like Diallo? Will he go strong with Mbumo and Cunha as well?
I like Mbumo, but I thought he was poor against Fulham.
Yeah, the first 10-15.
Bassi got stuck right into him.
Yeah, and then they struggled in the second half. But I'm sure he'll go strong tonight.
Okay, so it's been done before. Coventry, Leeds, Bristol City, MK Dons, and all about upsetting United. So let's get a bit more in the game. And United's start to the season, my man who won the Premier League a whopping 5 times at Manchester United, was involved in one of the great cup upsets back in 2006 when United were beaten by Cov. John O'Shea joins us. John, a very good morning.
Good morning, John.
Morning, Al. Morning, Gabby. Thanks for reminding me of all those games, but thankfully I was only involved in one of them, that Coventry one.
John, it's difficult because, you know, when Man United come to town, you know, everyone wants to beat you, you know, regardless whether it be a pre-season or a friendly or a cup tie, Carabao or FA Cup. You're a scalp, aren't you? So you've got to be on your mettle.
Yeah, you do. Listen, it'll be an amazing occasion down there at Grimsby, and they've had a decent start to their season, so United will know. Listen, they'll have to, if they do everything right, I'm sure they'll have no problem tonight, because they need to get a win on the board. They need to get some confidence flowing, and performances have been okay, but listen, the results need to get better. It's as simple as that. And if they can get a win tonight, hopefully it just gets the ball rolling again.
Premier League, I thought first game, played really well, lost. And then I was disappointed, to be honest, the Fulham game. I thought United were going to be, after, you know, the first 20, 30 minutes, I thought United are going for 3 points here, they'll get them. But then second half was not great.
Yeah, I think they kind of have that rhythm initially in the games that they've, both of the games that they've started in the Premier League. It looks like, okay, they're really going here. They're attacking threat, really solid in behind. And kind of settled. It really looked settled and kind of fluid patterns of play. But then obviously the killer instinct has not been there, unfortunately. And you go to a place like Craven Cottage, Fulham are going to have a spell at some stage. But United could have been out of sight after the first 10 minutes, but they haven't. And hopefully, like Gabby just mentioned there about Sesko, that he's going to be the one that will start finishing off these chances.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think tonight's the perfect game for Sesko to get his first goal, get match fitness, try and get 70, 80 minutes in the tank as well. But the standout for me is Mainu. I'm looking at him, John, and he's an asset to Manchester United. I think he's got 10 England caps. They don't want to go into a situation where his value keeps dropping by lack of game time. They've got to find a way to get him into that midfield, haven't they?
Yeah, totally agree. I found it slightly strange that the manager mentioned he's just in competition with Bruno.
I know.
I just found it a little bit strange. Listen, I know he's probably putting a bit of a challenge to him to say, listen, maybe that's who you're up against. So, and obviously Bruno's been the top performer for the last few seasons. So, a little bit strange, but hopefully it's just a bit of a little wake up call for Manu to kind of do something a bit different. Can he rise to the challenge? Is it a little kind of, psychological one for him? But hopefully, he's a quality player. United cannot afford to be losing him or selling him for any reason whatsoever. He's definitely, I hope, part of the future of the club that's going to be successful, without a doubt.
John, how do you see the Premier League? I said start of the season, I thought it was 4-horse race. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City. I'm disappointed with Villa, but Newcastle, I think, depends on Isak. We don't know. But could Tottenham, could Manchester United get in amongst them? Is that possible?
Listen, they need a bit of help, I think, from the last kind of week of the window out to get really involved in that top four chase. Like you mentioned, I was at Brentford, Aston Villa the weekend. Gabby, I think the Villa boys, I think, definitely need a bit of help. It looked like they were. Listen, Brentford were really good. Keith had them really organised, but I was kind of surprised a little bit at how short Villa were too. But they'll need a bit of help. But the big thing for Manchester United, will be the concentration on the league because of no European football, and they have to get the wins on the board. And they can get a bit of momentum. It'll be huge for them because they'll have a lot of time to prepare for games and have massive energy. European games is a big energy sapper, so they're saving that. But they got to keep the squad happy. They got to keep the team happy, and the only way you're doing that is by winning matches.
Totally agree, John. I want to ask you a quick one on last night. Celtic, frustrating for Celtic fans. Poor performance to go out to a team ranked 311th in the world. What did you make of the two legs, mate?
Listen, obviously we have a couple of Irish boys there. Listen, like you mentioned, defensively Celtic were fine. There was no issues, but it was just a cutting edge. And when you get to you get to the European Champions League stage, teams are going to be doing all they can to stop you. They should have won the game, Celtic. It's as simple as that. And you can talk about they should have had more help in the transfer window, etc., which I think possibly would have happened, but they should have won that game anyway with the team and squad that they had. So frustrating and very disappointing because you want to see Celtic getting as far as they can in the Champions League, and I'm sure Brendan and all the boys will be very, very upset with it. But they have a chance to bounce back very quickly at the weekend.
Yeah. Well, that won't be easy. Depends what happens tonight. Just one last one, John. You mentioned Keith Andrews. Another great result for Brentford last night, beating Bournemouth, knocking them out of the cup. So a lot of people were, eyebrows raised at Keith getting the job, but so far he's doing really, really well.
Yeah, listen, it's not a surprise, Alan, in the sense of I thought he was going to struggle a little bit more in terms of that he's not got enough help in rebuilding the squad yet. Losing the quality players that they had done, but slowly but surely he's gone about it. Utara coming in from Bournemouth is a huge one for them. He was very good at the weekend, and he's slowly piecing together a good squad. He's got a good staff together now in behind the scenes as well. So I think Brentford will be okay, but listen, they need probably a bit more help in the window too. But listen, Keith's a good coach. He'll get that group going, and no surprise with the last two results.
John, just tell me who's Ireland's next couple of games in the international stage, World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, the big ones coming up. World Cup qualifier starting. We're home to Hungary at the Aviva on the 6th, and then we travel to Armenia. So
big games.
Two big games. But listen, brilliant to get going. And thankfully, we've in the main the squad is fully fit and firing with obviously a week of games to go yet. So Evan Ferguson, Troy Parrott, the kind of spine of the team. That when you look at Jason Knight, Josh Cullen, captains at the clubs, Nathan Collins, Darragh O'Shea, Queeveen Kelleher, Gavin Mizuno back playing as well. So spine of the team is looking strong. And listen, it was a tough job picking the squad as well. So it's fingers crossed we just get off to a great start and build the momentum, and then let's see what happens.
Hope so, John.
Fingers crossed.
John, talk later. Thank you
very much, mate.
Thank you for joining
guys.
us.
Take care.
Lovely. Okay, John O'Shea there. Yeah, some big games coming up.
You look at them 2 games as well, and
I think they could win them both. Yeah,
get off to a good start. Because you need Ireland at a major.
Hungary, you never know what Hungary. I think they're fairly young, but I think Ireland and Dublin.
Szoboszlai, Kirkers, they've got.
And Armenia, they can definitely get a result there.
Definitely,
sure.
Big games.
Okay, coming up 9:30.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the taxman at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like $5,000, $10,000 for a 6-rounder or something because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
24 minutes to 10 o'clock, talkSPORT breakfast with me, Brazil, Gabby Agbonlahor and Alan Clark. Build your own car deals online, all with a few clicks. They make buying your next car easy. Now, though, the problems continue to mount for West Ham and Graham Potter.
We were sitting 9th in the table. We were 6th just 3 weeks ago. So,
what a catastrophe! Where do you want to be? You're a West Ham fan.
I do not understand how we can keep a manager like Moyes, who is a defensive-minded manager.
Lopetegui goes.
9 minutes into Graham Potter's West Ham reign. He's already worked some magic.
West Ham have had a mixed bag of results since the appointment of Graham Potter, but he's definitely made an impact. Their possession numbers, their pressing statistics, their carries stand out.
You're a wizard.
I think the potential of this club is huge. The ambition should be huge.
His opening day's goal, they don't get any better than this. Sunderland 3, West Ham 0.
And put in by Chalobah. West Ham 1, Chelsea 5.
Wolves 3, West Ham United 2, and the crisis continues. 11 goals conceded in 3 games.
Yeah, 2 good goals last night, but unfortunately conceding 3. Led 2-1 as late as the 82nd minute, Gab. But 2 goals in as many minutes for Strand Larsen flipped the game and dumped Graham Potter's side out of the Carabao Cup. To make matters worse, star man and captain Jared Bowen had to be restrained from leaping their advertising hoardings following words exchanged with a fan. So it was just one fan in their way end. Here's Potter's take on the incident.
He's obviously hurting because giving everything in the game. You know, he's the captain. He cares a lot about the club, cares a lot about the team. You can see the players are working hard. You can see the players are giving everything. I thought today there was no lack of effort at all from the boys. And it is what it is. It's just an exchange of views. Obviously, our supporters, of course, are hurting as well. And they obviously care about the club and they want us to win. So it's a pretty normal reaction, really.
I'll tell you what I do like, Gab, Jared's response, right? I don't know what was said by this fan. You know, emotions run high, don't you? You're 2-1 up and you get beat 3-2. You're knocked out of the cup. You think, what's going on here? And someone's had a pop at him. But this is what Jared said afterwards. He wrote on social media, apologies to the fans for tonight's reaction. The England forward wrote on Instagram, I'm someone who is passionate and will fight every time I step in the pitch, but I need to set a better example, and you fans know how much I love you and this club. We ride through the bad times together, and I'll see you all on Sunday. So no excuses.
No, of course.
Hands up. I'm sorry. get behind us Sunday.
And we don't know what was said. Maybe it wasn't as bad as what we think. You know what fans are like, Al. They've travelled from London.
Maybe it's personal. You don't know.
Yeah, but maybe it isn't. Maybe they've travelled from London to come and watch their team play. They've lost again after being in front, 2 late goals, and the fans, a few swear words. And because your emotions are high as a player, Bowen's probably like lost his head and thought, like, we're trying here. We're not, throwing our the towel. We're trying to win games, but it's not working at the moment. And it comes straight away. I think it was 20 minutes after the game finished. Put that on his Instagram, and it's finished. Forgotten about.
Well, I didn't see the game. I was watching the Celtic game, so I don't know how Gerrard played, and it appears that 2-1 West Ham were doing okay, but it all turned on its side. He's one player, though, the fans need to keep on his side. You don't want him leaving. Let's head to the phone lines now. Like, so many West Ham fans have called. 03717 223344. They want to have their say. So let's speak to, first of all, let's take Phil, a West Ham fan.
Good morning, Phil.
Morning.
Morning, Al. Morning, Gabby. How are you?
Good, Phil. Phil, what do you make of it? First of all, 2-1 up, 82nd minute. You think, okay, this is better, and suddenly banging out the cup.
82nd minute, I was my third Guinness in, and I was happy as Larry. Then Strand Larson, obviously, upset. But I understand Bowen's reacting. Emotions running high. The same with the fans. Everyone's upset. Everyone's frustrated. My issue is the board. They've come out and supported Potter, but what are they doing to show their support? It's all well and good saying they support him, but put your hands in your pockets.
So the board, it's quite simple as that. We need investment. Right, let me move on. Phil, thank you. What about Danny, a West Ham fan? Danny.
Good morning, Danny.
Good morning, Gab. Morning, Al. Good
morning.
show, boys. Always as usual.
Good man.
Yeah, I'm fuming. I back that guy there with the boards, but I want to go to on the pitch. Basic defending. It's basic defending. It's shocking. You got to get it right. You got to get the basics right, and that's not what West Ham are doing at the back. It's all over the place. The goals against Chelsea. How close were they to our goal, Gab, till they put it in the back of the net?
Yeah,
I just within like 10, 12 yards.
You see, what annoys me though is when I watch teams that play 3 centre halves. Is like there's 3 of yous. Why are players getting free headers? Why is Strand Larson getting a free header last night? You've got Mavropanos, Aguerd, Todibo. I don't think they're up to the standard of the Premier League.
You're absolutely right, and they're not short fellas either.
No.
And they're all sort of looking around at each other as if to say, well, who's marking who?
Exactly.
Who's doing what? Bowen's a cracking player, don't get me wrong, I love him. But is he strong enough to be a captain, a leader on the pitch, or not? Because last week against Chelsea, the huddle, Fulkrug, he's giving it all in the huddle, verbally, while Bowen's just sat there. He's the captain. He should be the man letting them have it, telling them, come on, boys, G them up.
I'm not sure about Fulkrug, mate. I watched him this season, and he seems a bit lightweight for the size of him. He was getting bullied by the Chelsea defenders, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a big baby. Get shot of him, mate. I tell you what, Gab, I'd rather have you up there.
Oh, steady! Don't go over. You don't want me, mate. I can't move.
Tom, nice one.
You're still quality, but the board, like that fella said, they've sold our ground. They changed our badge, sold kudos to our biggest rivals, and they left Birmingham in tatters. Does that not say enough to say, look, time to move on, you lot?
Okay, thank you very much.
Great call, mate.
Have we got one more? Tom, have we got Tom?
Hello, lads. How you doing?
Good morning, Tom.
Good, Tom. How are you?
Oh, you know what? It's just as I've never known a club to go full circle since we won a European trophy. 2021, we were a level above Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, and Brighton. We were, and there's no denying that. And it's not. And the thing is, I understand what the other lads are saying, but West Ham, the owners have invested. The difference is they've invested poorly because we put 100 million in last season for players that aren't good enough, and now we can't spend because of the issues which are obviously out there. And this is part of the problem. And it's all well and good using Potter as a scapegoat because obviously, and I'm not suggesting Potter's the right man to take us forward because the decisions don't make that much sense. However, I have no faith that if we do move Potter on, who are we going to get in? Because we haven't paid for a manager since Alan Pardew in 2003, whatever it was. So if we lose Potter now, we get rid of Potter, we move him on, I have no faith that the owners are going to put some
atmosphere like Upson Park did.
Yeah,
atmosphere like Upson Park did.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave Upton Park, but the thing is, it's one of them. The confusion with what the ownership are doing about. So we saying that we spend $3 million a year, and the idea is that we'll reinvest into the club. Well, they've reinvested poorly into the club for it. On European nights, when we had David Moyes against like Seville, for example, no better atmosphere in the world. But then obviously when you've got a situation like now, it's toxic, it's quiet, it's empty. And then if we do get relegated, this is the thing, and I understand, Jarrod Bowen's the last player you want to be having a pop at because of what he's done for the club. But if West Ham do get relegated, which is on the cards at the moment, those players won't be there. The fans still will be. So that's the issue. There's the emotion, the love the fans have got for the club, and everything that falls on top of it. And the stadium is not going to help because it'll be empty next year. And I think if the club had naming rights over the stadium in a mirrored way that City do, for example, over the Etihad or whatever, then it might be different because there'd be an asset involved. But it at the moment, it's a hard one to say because on nights where it suits us, it is rocking, and on nights where it doesn't, it's not a nice place to be. But yeah, it's overall the issues are bigger than the manager.
Yeah,
and it's generally down to the way the club's been run. Because like I said, 2021 we were a level above teams that are established in that top half. And
Okay,
it's not
totally
even,
agree, mate.
Yep, Tom, nice one.
Great call,
I agree
mate.
with you. I've been at Stratford.
Yep,
and it has been rocking.
Yes,
and I mean, when they're doing well against big boys, they really the whole sides of the ground are all.
But when it's not, like against Chelsea, it's very quiet.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be as good as Spurs or Everton's new ground. That looks sensational.
They're closer to the pitch.
Yeah, but it's still all right, Gab. I promise you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Coming up, we'll focus on Leeds and the issues facing Daniel Farke. 9:51, very, very quickly. Boxing. Conor Benn is leaving no stone unturned in preparation for his rematch with Eubank Jr. 11 weeks out from their sequel, still 11 weeks to go, Benn uploaded a video of some grueling sparring rounds with Romanian MMA fighter Marius Florin. And fans were blown away by how sharp Benn looked so early in his fight camp. Gabs, who are you backing this time around?
Oh, what has he taken out of Eubank? Because he was in hospital for a few days afterwards in a bad way. Second time round, I might have to go Conor Benn. Really? I just feel like Conor Benn's fought him now. He knows how good Eubank is. He'll learn a lot from that fight. And he's not the one that's got to cut so much weight. So I think second fight, maybe Eubank isn't the same boxer he was on the first one.
We'll get a third decider.
Yeah, maybe we will, but looking forward to it no matter what. But I'm worried about Eubank losing all that weight again.
Okay. Well, there's more on Ben's rigorous gym efforts on talkSPORT.com. It was a cracking fight. I really enjoyed it. This Saturday, two former UFC challengers swap the cage for the ring as Daniel Till takes on former MMA world champion Luke Rockhold in his boxing debut. Watch live Saturday only on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Buy now at dazn.com/boxing.
Okay, let's finish off with last night's an incredible result. Sheffield Wednesday, the Owls fielded 9 players under the age of 20, but still managed to beat Premier League Leeds United on penalties. The Leeds manager Daniel Farke was quick to play down the result, however, when speaking to Alan Biggs after the game.
I don't think it will shock the football world, not at all. So as a newly promoted side to the Premier League, if you then travel to a away ground in the Championship, you can't take anything for granted. And for that, it was always a difficult game for us. And it could be that the underdog, of course, the Championship side is the underdog in comparison to the newly promoted Premier League side. But it can happen, if the favorite misses too many chances, and we're not happy with this. But this is why there are so many surprising results also in the cup, especially in this round. And today, I have to say congratulations to Sheffield for really spirited defending, and in the penalty shootout they were the better side, and Ice Cold, the goalkeeper, with the game of his life, and for that they deserve then also to be in the third round.
Incredible. 9 players under the age of 20. From a Leeds point of view, they've signed 10 players, but none of them have cost more than £20 million. New striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin, by all accounts, had a poor night, missing a penalty and some very easy chances, Gab. Gab, if you were a Leeds fan, would you be worried after a 5-0 loss to Arsenal and that last night? Would you be worried now as the alarm bells clanging?
I don't think last night, because I think that can happen in a cup game, a one-off game. I look at the Leeds game against Arsenal. I thought defensively looked very poor, especially at fullback. Going forward as well, Nonto, James and Peru didn't really look like Premier League players, but
that Arsenal midfield, it's difficult to get past them.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't look into that game as much, but what Leeds have to do, Al, they have to make Ellen Road a fortress, like the first game of the season against Everton. Can they make it really difficult? They play Newcastle on the weekend. I think that's a Saturday evening game. Can they make it a horrible game? Can they change the way that maybe they played last season and be a bit more rigid at the back as well, like there was against Everton? Don't give up many chances. Calvert-Lewin will get up and running and will score goals.
I hope
yes, because if Dan James can sort the crossing out a bit and more quality on his delivery and get them balls into the box for Calvert-Lewin, they will score goals. I don't think they will stay up. I don't think they have enough quality throughout that squad, but I don't see them finishing with 12, 13 points. I do think they will definitely get a lot of results at Ellen Road, but I don't see them as a team capable of staying up with the quality they've got.
Sheffield Wednesday at the moment 21st in the Championship, but there's some big clubs down there. Sheffield United bottom, I can't believe that. QPR 22nd, Wednesday 21st, Derby down there 20th, and then you get Ipswich and Norwich 17th and 18th. Blackburn are down there.
Still early though.
Oh yeah, and you look at the top, the old Stokies are happy, especially around here in our studio here. There's a couple of Stoke fans.
I know, poor guys.
Top of the table, what about that?
But it can change so much, can't it, Al? You can win 3 games in a week and jump 10 places in the Championship. Oh no. No.
Well, give them a bit. You don't often hear it, do you?
Yeah, they've been through a lot, haven't they, Stoke fans? But the Championship, Al, it's going to be like that. Birmingham, they're flying. Wrexham doing well. I think you'll see some surprise teams in the playoffs this season.
Birmingham 5th, the Baggies. I fancy the Baggies to do really well.
Good
Coventry
manager.
up there in 3rd as well.
I mean, the Coventry win 7-1, was it against QPR?
Amazing.
What an amazing result. And after how they lost to Sunderland in the playoffs.
I'll tell you who's a tricky team. Millwall, you can't predict them.
No, you got to play against them.
They're 6 points, 3 off the top in 8th. So
that's why we love the Championship, though, Al.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen. Ipswich, like you says, lost a couple of big players, and now it's not as easy as maybe the bookies thought.
I'm like, what? No, I can't see it.
Yes, Hutchinson will be a big loss, mate.
Yeah. All right, Gab, we're back tomorrow from 10 o'clock. Enjoy tonight. Rangers fans, enjoy it.
You don't mean that.
Well, look, at the end of the day, Bruges are a good side. Gabby, you've been there with the Villa.
Yes.
You know it's good. They're really up against it. 3-1 down as well from the first leg. Celtic, they've got to pick themselves up for the Old Firm game at Ibrox on Sunday. So it's going to be an interesting night of football.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Back tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock. Don't go away. 10 o'clock, guys. Coming up next.